97.3.
Wait a minute, these guys are cool, but not that cool.
No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Now, Billy and Armin on the game.
Wind it up. No BS on the game. Billy and Sarian with you. It's a Dave Gasper production, and 877-794-1973 is the way you join it. Brewers have won 3 straight. Armin Sarian is trying to not think of basketball, and we have some maybe Packer fans that have reason to be upset that the Packers didn't go and get a wide receiver. Good stuff to be able to talk about here on a Wednesday, because rarely you get an NFL trade post-draft that has any consequence whatsoever, Armin.
Yeah.
You get a nearly rookie throwing 7 scoreless innings for the Brewers. Didn't, but they still get themselves the win.
Come on now.
And you got a kid from the state of Wisconsin causing you a heck of a lot of consternation. We got to get to all of it and a bunch of other things, like giving people a chance to win $1,000 in each of our 3 hours here today. A parlay of the day, which I did not hit yesterday. However, if you're looking at, you guys did the zigzag model, right?
Yeah, well, the zigzag, it could have worked if the Pacers didn't zag all the way back in the last, minute of the game, by the way. That could have worked. Well, for that leg at least,
For one leg.
For one leg.
But where I was going with this was you're talking about the zigzag effect. If you zigzag with the parlay, you go 3 for 3, then 0 for 3 on back-to-back days.
Oh, right.
Then you would think the next zig would be up this way. So that's where I was going with the zigzag, that maybe today is a zigzag in the positive direction in the third hour of the program, and we might have to be able to find out when we go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
And isn't it better to lose them all if you're going to lose the parlay?
Especially early.
That's what I say.
Especially in grand fashion like that was last night.
Lose them all in grand fashion. That was grand fashion, no doubt about it.
47.2 ticks left on the clock. Down 7, and that was the number once again when it was 119-112 after Pascal Siakam goes up to the foul line, misses both free throws, and then your boy Aaron Nesmith comes through with a putback slam to put them back down 5, them being the Indiana Pacers. And what happened then over the next 40-something odd seconds ended up being Tyrese Halliburton's second game winner in 3 games, and another rabbit out of the hat for what has turned into maybe your most hated team in all of professional sports, it feels like.
I mean, that would be me being a prisoner of the moment. They're not my most hated.
Which you've never been before.
No, right. No, come on.
Never been prisoner of the moment. No,
don't
never,
say that.
Never.
Armin, but I mean, it's the way they're winning too, right, Billy? It's the way they're, now, you said down 7 with 40-something. Where have I heard that before? A once-in-a-lifetime comeback happened twice in 2 series for them, twice in 3 games. It's just the way it seems to be, and maybe they're charmed.
Hey, misery loves company, and ESPN put that stat up last time that it had been the first time since they kept track of the play-by-play era. Play-by-play era. Yeah. So all that meant is people actually writing down what actually all happens. I just wanted to make sure that we clarified that.
Unlike Wilt in Hershey, Pennsylvania, putting up 100.
Correct. Yeah. No play-by-play era for that one. But you do get to know that it was like it had never happened in 1,600 basketball games in the playoffs before. Well, now it's happened twice in 3 games.
Yeah, now listen, those things happen for some teams. Those things happen for some people, but it was very rare for those 2 occurrences to occur. But they occurred, and I have to deal with that. We have to deal with that if we're cheering against the Pacers. And you talk about the luck factor, talk about the skill factor, the clutch factor. They all can be debated, Billy. We have to talk about the fact that they are good to win those games, maybe. That's what you've had to give me a little lesson. That's probably true. But let's be real about this, all right? That you can be good and have luck on your side. Now, let's first talk about the notable players to miss at least one playoff game against the Pacers over the last 2 years. Damian Lillard, 5 games. Mm-hmm. Giannis, 6 games. Evan Mobley, 1 game. DeAndre Hunter, 1 game. Darius Garland, 2 games. By the way, out again last night. Porzingis, 4. Julius Randle, 7. Mitchell Robinson, 6. Bojan Bogdanovic, 7.
Okay, you can miss me with Bojan Bogdanovic.
I was really, right? I was being a chiseler when I got to him and Mitchell Robinson.
Sorry, all due respect to Mitchell Robinson and his family. I watched him get himself hacked right off the floor a couple of nights ago, so I'm not all that worried about that.
Now, let's be fair. Every team runs up against teams that sometimes aren't completely healthy. That's just the way sports are. famously, the Bucks didn't have to play against an injured Kyrie and all that. So we know about
and James
that.
Harden, yeah.
And and James Harden, right? So me, I fight with brass knuckles, tooth and nail when someone tries to take away our title,
Sure,
and stuff. So I gotta be consistent with that. The Pacers, they rolled up and they beat the team that was in front of them, the 64-win Cavs. And boy, this series is really taking a turn because you go down now 2-0 and you're going back home up 2-0. It's pretty wild to sit here saying we could be looking at a real situation in which the Pacers are once again in the Eastern Conference Finals. And Billy, we talk so much about Halliburton. For me, it's the entire guard rotation that makes them so tough. It's Nembhard, it's Nesmith, we mentioned McConnell a little bit.
Yeah.
Also Mathurin, all these guys that they can deploy as weapons that can cause matchup problems. And Siakam to me is a very athletic type, he can move and he can
absolutely
defend, and he can do.
And he's a really
Miles
good playoff
Turner.
wing player, right?
Yeah.
Like he can defend at a very, very high level. He can score when he has to, and he's a guy that's won an NBA championship, right? So it's one part of their mixture that's a little bit different. They play a legit 9 deep. I mean, they had 11 guys play last night. Sorry, Ben Shepherd and Jarris Wallace or Walker. I'm not going to necessarily count all that much. I thought Walker was more of a human victory cigar.
I think
they lit up in the middle of a couple of games against the Bucks, and my man went and hit 3 threes, right? So they're deep. They got a lot of guys that can play, and you're not wrong for pointing out the players that injure or have been injured in front of them. But I also don't think that it should be a disqualifier. Part of going through the NBA playoffs and part of making it through 2 months, and one of the reasons why I got dragged for this opinion a couple of weeks ago, it's my favorite basketball tournament yearly because of the amount of strain that it takes to not only stay healthy, but to be able to withstand the mental grind that it ends up being. Listen, Cleveland's not done. Sure feels like it. They go and win game 3, and it's game on at that point, because then you really better not be Indiana losing all of the advantage that you just had going in. It's an absolute backs against the wall must-win game. But if you're Indiana, you're like, all right, kind of playing with house money, but we are going back home, and that place is going to be rocking one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. Yesterday, I'm talking about Anthony Edwards coming out being a legend killer. Well, the legend hobbled off in Steph Curry in the middle of the first quarter. Anthony Edwards had 1 point in the first half. Mm-hmm. So it is a grind to be able to have yourself at your best, be able to continue staying healthy and performing at that time. And I'm starting to feel like you might have to miss me with the luckier than good, because it happens once. Sure, there can be luck, and the Bucks were absolutely complicit. Cavaliers were complicit last night, but Tyrese Halliburton went and grabbed his own rebound, stepped back Reggie Millard, and then rightfully so, Sam Cassell danced his way down the floor into a 2-0 lead. Like, that was there are times, and I know there's a lot of reasons why we don't like the Indiana Pacers. A lot of reasons why you definitely don't like Tyrese Halliburton. Mm-hmm. However, if he did any of these performances against teams not named the Milwaukee Bucks, damn, would I be a big fan of him.
Well, that's probably why some people are starting to come around on that aspect of Tyrese.
Talk stuff,
and the clutch and
knock
stuff.
Down triples in late game situations, be able to take guys off the dribble and then let him hear about it, and be a little corny at the same time.
Very corny.
That is something that you would like.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. And I see, I see different people saying, wow, Tyrese Halliburton did it again. He's him. It's starting to become part of his brand that he's has become a clutch player and hitting these type of shots. And I don't want to say coming out of nowhere to do it, but, he's not necessarily the top volume scorer in the league and one of these things. He's a good player, no doubt about it. We talked about his accolades.
19 points last night.
Right.
Yeah.
But coming up with the big shots, and whether that's a skill, whether that's just the way things are working out for him, it's really hard to say. Being clutch is one of those things that's always going to be debated in sports, if it's a real skill or not. There are certain guys you look at. Dame used to be that guy. I think he can still be that guy. When
Jalen Brunson's that guy. I was just voted clutchest player in the league.
Exactly.
This year,
Jalen Brunson. And you ask yourself, why do certain guys, we talked so much about Jordan throughout history, but Jordan missed plenty of game winning shots as well. So you ask why certain guys get that sort of moniker, or some guys, is it really a skill? Is it not? I'm not really sure, but the Pacers definitely have a right type of mix team wise to win these games. Now, whether or not, it's like, well, this is what they do, they don't, maybe not giving up is a thing. I don't think getting down in situations
Not
where
a
it's down
sound
7.
strategy. Let's put that on the
So they're
table. Good call.
Not trying to do that, but there's something we said for, you're never out of it. You never give up. I think also the fact that they have a lot of good shooters on the floor, including their center, Miles Turner. Miles Turner
Helps.
probably one of the most underrated. We talk about all these players. We haven't mentioned Miles Turner. Probably one of the most underrated guys in the league, right? This is a guy that's never been, I don't think like top 5 for any award. Maybe at one point he was top 5 for DPOY, but like a consistent scorer. I think his rebound numbers have been consistent throughout his career, and a guy that's very versatile that we don't really talk much about. It's a type of player a team like Indiana loves to have, right? Because he's athletic, can move around, he can play big, he's bouncy, he can hit shots. He's like 35, 36% from 3 career. That's an amazing number for a guy like
and
that.
almost 40% this year, Armin, to your point. Yeah.
It's
shooting the most threes he ever has in his career.
We talk about a lot of guys. That's probably one of the most underrated guys that doesn't get talked about. That's really helping them win games. So,
well, and it was definitely one of the biggest parts of why they were such a problem for the Bucks.
Big problem.
And he was the reason you played Brook Lopez off the floor.
Main matchup issue, really, if you think about it, because for all he can do and all Brook can do, Brook couldn't guard him the way he wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that became a problem for the Bucks, obviously. And we know all the open shots that Indiana got. So I don't know. It's a tough situation for the Cavs right now, who are staring the end of their season in the face after winning 64 games. 64 games. But this has been a really good NBA playoffs. Really good NBA playoffs, Billy. The games have been great.
May Madness is living up to it.
It really has been. What a great playoff.
It's even got your boy John Fanta talking big time about the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, he has.
He's posting the selfie videos screaming about how great the games have been. Last night, it was fantastic to start. The second game didn't necessarily do much. But, hey, man, Buddy healed. Good for him. He's still playing, and he's balling out last night. Steph Curry, that hamstring injury, that's an issue. However, they win game 1 on the road, mostly without him.
That's a good point. I
don't know if Jimmy Butler can win that series with that squad like that, but
I wouldn't put it past him.
He was getting booed relentlessly last night every time he touched the basketball. And my favorite part was Stan Van Gundy's like, it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's true.
It was like 6 years ago, and like 3 teams he's gotten himself traded off of ago.
Real ones don't forget, right?
Brewers fans still boo Manny Machado every time we see him.
Gary Sheffield
he didn't even demand to get traded off our team.
When Gary Sheffield was like a veteran at the end of his career, he's still getting booed. So you know what? The real ones don't forget, but Jimmy likes that anyway. You really shouldn't do any of that stuff.
He's eating
it makes him better. The thing is, though, if you are the Timberwolves, is that the best situation to be in down 1-0? Like thinking like if Steph's out, we can win the series.
But down 1-0 without Steph Curry, I think you'd punt that game if you know Steph doesn't play the rest of the
Another
series.
Anthony Edwards kind of not great shooting night. So he's got some coming. I think that's the way I look at it.
Sure.
Anthony Edwards now, I believe, 1 for his last 16 on threes. That's got to get better, you would think. I expect it to. I'm not sure if that's a zigzag situation. You would think that's going to get better. He was 9 of 22, so he's okay. But yeah, the 3-point shot hasn't been there. In general, they didn't shoot well. I think they shot 17%. I think the Timberwolves are going to win games. That's going to be another great series. Who knows what's going to happen without Steph? Intrigue, storylines, it's all there, Billy.
They got a lot of good stories for the league, and the numbers are fantastic right now for the NBA. So they're very happy about the ratings that have come back, and it's living up to it, and it's living up to the billing. Hopefully our show can live up to the billing, because we got a big one for you. Our friend Aaron Nagler stopping by in about 20-ish minutes from right now, 25 minutes.
Love that.
Cheesehead TV's Dominator, well, let's be honest, co-founder, as well as a contributor here on the game, and the leader of Carrying the G is Aaron Nagler, and he's going to stop by to talk about a couple of things. One, the NFL draft. I don't know if anybody really picked up on this. He called Matthew Golden from the start. Like, Nags back in February when he first started tapping around into draft stuff. I remember reading a tweet from him said, Matthew Golden, you are a Green Bay Packer. Okay. All right. Aaron Nagler. So I'm excited to talk about that with him, as well as, did the Packers miss out on acquiring George Pickens? 877-794-1973.
Kurt Bankert might think that.
Certain former Green Bay Packers definitely think so.
He might be him. If he was him, he would have been him.
People have been asking for the splash. This would have been splashy.
Sure, it would have
been splashy. Did you want him? I necessarily didn't know that he was fully available, especially after Pittsburgh reporters were saying they're not trading him. Jerry Jones said, well, we want him, and we're going to bring him down here. And now George Pickens is going to line up across from CeeDee Lamb, not DK Metcalf. More importantly, not Romeo Dobbs.
Well, Jerry Jones heard you not even mention the Cowboys in terms of the teams the Giants had to beat in the
He
East.
said, problem.
He didn't even hear you mention the Cowboys. He's like, if Bill Schmidt is sitting here talking about the Giants going from worst to first and the Eagles and Washington Commanders and didn't even mention my Cowboys, no. You at least mentioned my team. You mentioned my team, Bill Schmidt.
Because Bill Schmidt's on my list now.
I'm going to show you. And roll up and get, the guy that could be Justin Jefferson. If he was Justin Jefferson.
If he was Justin Jefferson.
Or Jamar
Could
Chase.
be Jamar Chase.
If he was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, if he was. But he is now a Dallas Cowboy. Do you wish he was a Green Bay Packer? We'll discuss it on the other side. And Aaron Nagler comes up in 20 minutes from right now. It's No BS on the Game. Chance for you to win $1,000 coming up right after this.
Like Philly, it feel like DC, it feel like VA, or the Bay, or yay. Hey, this is the good life.
Are you buying or selling? Greg Urchel here from Urchel Real Estate Group, partner of the Drew and KB Show. I've been in the real estate business for over 20 years. I'm a practicing lawyer, so I've seen almost everything there is to see when buying or selling commercial or residential real estate. I've built a trusted team around me to provide our clients with the highest level of service available in this market. We are much more than just a traditional agent. We are Urchel Real Estate Group. Buying or selling? Go to urchelrealestate.com or email me, Greg, at urchel.com. ERCHULL.com.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Join a growing team offering outstanding benefits, including their own health clinic, paid training, and top wages. Take the next step in your career. Join Southern Wisconsin's premier manufacturer, Meadowcraft of Mayville, hiring all positions, skilled and unskilled. All shifts at their Mayville, West Bend, Beaver Dam, Fall River, and Horicon facilities. No experience required. Learn more and apply at MTLcraft.com. That's MTLcraft.com. Meadowcraft is an equal opportunity employer. Minorities, women, veterans, and persons with disabilities encouraged to apply.
Now at Menards, save big on everything for your landscaping project. Whether you're shopping for edgers, pavers, or wall blocks, Menards has the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block ready to take home today. Plus, get fast free estimates when you use our landscape design program, available in-store and on Menards.com. Save big on landscape blocks when you shop at Menards. Also, check out the great deals from our weekly flyer on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. With over 50,000 satisfied patients, people with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Churches is serving up all the flavor and all the fun for all our fans. It's a block party, y'all. Thursday, May 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We've got a live DJ, and there will be games and prizes all at 605 Church Street in Watertown. And you better believe it really is the place to be, because we're giving you the chance to win Church's chicken for a year. So see you there Thursday, May 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 605 Church Street. Terms and restrictions apply.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale this month. That means 60% off a whole home of windows, plus no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments till 2027. 866-90-NATION or online at windownation.com.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft shoes, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, girl.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Look for Mirafast at Walmart today. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. Summitracing.com. Let's build it together.
This is my jam. Keep me partying to the AM.
You want to keep partying until the AM. I think a biggest way that would throw your hands in the air would be winning $1,000. You get a chance to win some bonus bucks. I think you throw your hands up in the air.
Heck yeah.
Win $1,000 by entering this hour's cash keyword at 973thegame.com. This hour's keyword is money. Enter the word money. That's money at 973thegame.com. Money is what he's looking for at some particular point in time. However, not the reason why George Pickens was traded this morning from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, there's a number of different angles to go here with this one, Armin. I got a checklist so I don't forget all the different ways. Thought that was pretty impressive show prep, by the way.
Proud of you, Billy.
But went checklist so I don't forget to hammer out all the different parts of this that are fascinating.
It's great growth.
Let's go with the first. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go with the first one just on the surface of the Dallas Cowboys are actually making moves. Jerry Jones said, now listen, I know y'all don't think I'm trying to get better. All right. You don't think I'm trying to get better. We're going to get better. We're the Dallas Cowboys. All right. So there's a little Saban in there.
But it was more Saban, but not terrible impression.
He was kind of frustrated, and Stephen Jones is like, I don't know what this step back you guys are talking about, or this drought you guys are talking about with us not going to the NFC title game or winning. They go and add in George Pickens, who again I think is a good wide receiver, very talented. I question if he cares more about catching touchdowns or beating dudes up after the play.
Yeah.
Because you see much more about his extracurricular activities during the games, more than just his spectacular catches, which are phenomenal, by the way. Like,
he does make some great plays. His talent is tantalizing.
Great way of putting it.
It's
yes.
tantalizing.
His splash plays will make you think, ooh, that guy is one of
the best.
One of the best. He could be one of the 15 best wide receivers in football. However, the production has not matched that.
Sure.
Maybe it's because he has Russell Wilson and company throwing him the football in Pittsburgh formerly, or maybe it's because he doesn't have everything and priorities completely lined up. But Dallas, maybe that gets rectified with Dak Prescott. Maybe that works out. Maybe they're better. I just didn't anticipate Dallas looking for a George Pickens at this particular point in time.
Maybe not, but I think if the mentality is get better wherever you can, and maybe that was one of the positions they could.
Alongside CeeDee Lamb, very much so. Gallup has been underwhelming for a number of times. Yeah. They get rid of Brandon Cooks, I believe, this offseason, so they needed a number two, no doubt about it.
Believing it's, it was a 26th third rounder and a 27th fifth rounder, and they get back a sixth rounder. So it's not necessarily a cheap price to pay, but it's not necessarily the most expensive price either, depending on how you value draft capital, things like that. The third round pick is probably the most that's the biggest part of that.
That's the big tag of it.
Now,
no doubt.
The thing is, how good will Dallas be? Where will that third round pick land? Will that be a top 100 pick or not? It's kind of hard to say at this point. We don't know what to expect from Dallas. I think a lot of people don't expect much from Dallas. Maybe they'll make this move. Maybe they'll try and sneak up on some people this year. They're in a really tough division, obviously, so it's hard to say, but Okay, so they go and get George Pickens. All right. Then there's other angles to this, right?
And the other angle is, would this have been a move that you wanted the Green Bay Packers to make?
Mm-hmm.
Because throughout the offseason, and most importantly through free agency, the comment, I thought the real criticism that people had of Brian Gutekunst and what the Packers had done was there wasn't a splash move. There wasn't a wide receiver or pass rusher that you had seen. Wide receivers easier because you have them on your fantasy team.
Right.
So you can feel that weight and that success rate. The Pickens one, again, I love his talent, no doubt about it. I'm fascinated by the player. However, he has clearly earned a tag of baggage next to him. And there's a reason why he fell in the draft with that kind of immense talent.
Yeah.
There's a reason why during the course of his career in Pittsburgh on his first contract, you're like, wait a second. Why is this guy not catching 80 balls? Why is this guy not seeing the ball more? Because it seems like he's more frustrated than he is focused most of the time. So 877-794-1973. But if this trade was made before the draft, Armin, I think there would be more people that would say, yeah, you could have used him. But you go and grab Savion Williams and Matthew Golden in the first round. Maybe the heat was off Brian Gutekunst to do anything in the wide receiver room. Now it's like, well, could we offload somebody to Pittsburgh to be able to move this thing around a little bit?
That's a great point.
And here's the thing, too, to remember with the draft. The Cowboys were reportedly targeting Teteroa McMillan with the 12th overall pick. They miss out on him, so they end up going guard. You know, if Matthew Golden's off the board already there in the first round and the Packers go guard or something like that, and then it's like, oh, man, still need a wide receiver help, then maybe, you look at George Pickens.
In the same way, Dave, what you're saying is like what I think Packers fans were wondering if that was going to be what happens with Jair Alexander, right?
Yeah.
If teams were going to look through and say, we really wanted Jahdae Barron, we really wanted to come out of this draft with the kid Revel Jr. from East Carolina. We wanted to come out of here with multiple corners,
right? And
then you didn't, so it changes your mathematics going into the season. Might have happened with the Packers, right? Because now, I mean, we were talking about it with Matt Schneidman on Monday. Josina Anderson's report, it's somewhat of a report that he's not going to be in the building. He's not going to be there until there is a resolution contractually in his roster situation in Green Bay. So he's going to stay away. It's agreed upon by the team and the player and the agent, but it kind of looks closer to them bringing Jair back. If they would have gotten a corner or two, Armin, maybe that wouldn't be the case. But this one is the way the draft falls. Now teams will reassess where they're at. And that's when you start seeing deals like this for guys that, people know.
Yeah, maybe look for need more than they would have previously and try and get known quantities for those draft picks. Pretty interesting. Now, if I know Packer fans, I know they have two competing interests when they decide would they have liked a guy like George Pickens or would they have liked to trade for a guy like George Pickens. There's two competing worlds for Packer fans.
Oh, let me hear it.
On one hand, it's the supreme desire and the tantalizing desire and hunger to always make a big move.
Yes, to always be in the news with the big move.
Packer fans want them to make a move. They want that bad. Like, no matter who it is, let's go get them. What does it take?
Yes,
Myles
let's
Garrett,
do it.
We need to make moves, right? And the other side, on the other shoulder, it's that's two competing motivations. The other motivation is Packer culture guys, bad locker room guys. You don't want those guys. So there's two worlds colliding. To answer a question like that, I think for Packer fans, would you want the excitement of a big move for a guy that has talent attached to him, but the other things also attached to him, obviously, the culture issues, which is one thing that Packer fans hate to have, is risking on bad culture guys, right? So just looking at the NickLayLaw.com talking text line right away, 715, don't need Pickens, blank them. Zach, so glad the Packers didn't get Pickens, overrated, not a good fit for the culture. Stephen Richfield, glad Pickens is not a Packer. Cancer, selfish, not in the Packer mold. So I get that. Now, here's the thing. I think we're also feeling good because we got two receivers in the draft at high, the first and the third rounders. So you're already feeling good about where your receiver room is in that situation. Felt like the Packers spent draft capital to go get some really, some decent players. But if they didn't do any, let's say they drafted no receivers, would Packer fans have still said that? I think they would have, but I think it would have been like, we can take the chance because there are certain guys you have questions about that are worth taking the chance on.
Yeah,
Like
I'm with you on that.
Randy Moss was the best example, right?
Mm-hmm.
The juice might be worth the squeeze.
Mm-hmm. And that one, it was absolutely worth the squeeze.
It was worth. It's Randy Moss. Even after the bad years,
yes,
with the Raiders in Oakland, there was a thought that with a better quarterback he could do it. The thing is, and I think a lot of people feel this way, George Pickens has not been that guy. Like as much as the talent's been there, or the excitement of the splash plays that we talked about.
Yeah.
I think people see him more like, a guy that should be better than he really is and isn't. So is the juice worth the squeeze there?
George Pickens highlight tape to me hits like a football equivalent of an and one mixtape.
I love that comparison. Yeah.
Where you watch and you're like, dude, the professor might be the best basketball player I've ever seen.
It might be the best, but he's the best in like the situations in which I see the highlight.
Which is on blacktop playing against guys that can't make the NBA. So like that's part of it where I watch George Pickens highlights and you're like, how is this dude not awesome?
Mm-hmm.
How can he not be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism. I already saw somebody putting up today. There was a tale of the tape they did with him and CeeDee Lamb. They're each 6'2", 6'3", each like 200 pounds. Each ran like a high 4.4, low 4.5 40, jump pretty much the same spot. Like very, very prototypical body type, but some of it comes down to what do you do in between the times that you're getting the football. And there, for every single time there's George Pickens dominating somebody on the edge in a blocking situation, there's him getting a 15-yard penalty after or chucking his helmet onto the sidelines. And this is the other part of it, because I think you're exactly right. If the Packers would not have gotten Golden and or Williams, more people would say, yeah, but I mean, get him into Green Bay
because we need a guy.
We need a guy. Maybe we can work with him.
We work with him.
He'll be better here. We better with us.
Better quarterback, better culture, better fit, less distraction.
Green Bay. There's no distractions. He'd be fine.
Where's he gonna go? Drifting.
However,
love drifting. But
my problem is I'm looking at some history here, Armin.
Yeah.
Let's check notes on wide receivers that have been potential problems, left Pittsburgh, and gotten less distracting.
All right, let's list them out.
Antonio Brown, that's gonna be in the no variety, right?
Nah, he's
Martavius Bryant.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's gonna be a no-go.
Wow. Yeah.
Not wide receiver. What about Le'Veon Bell? How's his rap album going?
I don't know if that's hitting the top 100. I don't know if that's
like the amount of guys that leave. Oh, here we go. Another Green Bay Packer target. What about Chase Claypool?
Chase Claypool is the one I was thinking of.
You just go.
Everyone assumed he'd be better if he was somewhere, and it just never worked out for him.
It wasn't going to work. And a lot of times, as much as Mike Tomlin catches a certain amount of heat,
right,
for their lack of playoff success over the last number of years, he deserves a lot of credit for being able to. I'll talk about culture. He's able to keep a lot of the nutcase situations out of the public eye.
Yeah.
Where Antonio Brown was being a wild man. However, Mike Tomlin was able to control that narrative enough where we really didn't know about it until he was showing up with frozen feet in Las Vegas.
Deontay Johnson.
Another great name.
I think a lot of people thought Juju would be better once he left. Maybe he was a feature guy.
Talent-wise,
been talent, but
no doubt,
it's not been a feature. I think
Juju actually might be the only guy who has become less of a problem when he left Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
all he was doing was dancing.
And stuff. Counter argument would be like, look, who's throwing to him though in Pittsburgh? And that's, I get the main counter argument. I know I saw Kurt Bankert this morning. We've been joking about it, saying, talent wise could be in the same conversation as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase if he had played the beginning of his career in an offense like those guys, aka with a better quarterback. Maybe I can't deny that. Like if you have a great quarterback throwing Pickens, he might have more production. But I also think if you're great, you're great, no matter who you're with, and people would see that. Also, the extracurricular stuff doesn't have to happen no matter who your quarterback is. So
no, that's all about what you decide to do.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
The final one here on my checklist is so if they're getting rid of wide receivers, does that mean Aaron Rodgers isn't playing for the Steelers this year?
Well, I think that's the next step. Is what does that mean for Aaron? What does that mean for what he wants to do?
Because Albert Breer said, along with one of his cohorts, Connor Orr, your boy from Sports Illustrated,
right?
That maybe now the Steelers start looking for a number 2 wide receiver and they go to that Green Bay Packers wide receiver room that's just littered with talent and guys that are going into contract years. Albert Breer said Aaron Rodgers was very fond of Romeo Doubs.
Huh. I didn't know that. How about that?
It's news to me. Also would be news to me that Romeo Doubs would be on the trade block, or maybe there isn't. Maybe there would be. Let's talk about it with Aaron Nagler on the other side. We're going to get an update in here coming up from Doug Russell as well. But if indeed teams are calling, would the Packers be moving off of wide receivers? Are they in that market? They in the extension market? And we'll talk some Packers football with our friend Aaron Nagler on the other side. Hour 2 around the corner. It's No BS with Billy and Sarian here on The Game.
Coming up Wednesday, the Mike Heller Show goes noon to 3 on The Game. The Brewers, a night game on Tuesday, matinee on Wednesday. Hunter Baumgarten will join us at 2 o'clock. Nick Osen, Badger Recruiting never stops. He'll join us with the latest. That happens at 1:35, plus the other news of the day. It's the Mike Heller Show, Wednesday, noon to 3 on The Game.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
When a crane collapsed during construction of a major league sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
KB here to tell you about the amazing job CertaPro Painters did on our home's exterior. The crew was professional, on time, paid attention to every detail, and now our house looks brand new. The quality, chef's kiss. If you need painting done right, call CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. To schedule a free estimate for your home or business and learn about their spring sales event going on through May 15th, go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-285-3636. That's 800-285-3636. 800-285-3636.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. This hour of No BS is brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Drop it. He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
This season has been kind of a win a few, lose a few.
Yeah, up and down. Right?
Up and down.
Team Streak 2.0.
Yeah, Team Mini Streak 2.0.
Yeah, we do have to get 12
a wild ride.
We do have to get burgers one of the times for it to be officially Team Streak 2.0.
And then give them right back with the 12-game skid right after the 13-game winner, and then have a 39-game.
Did you have to go
streak.
back in and then pay for the burgers that you ate for free?
You should have. That would have been.
Streak?
You didn't.
You got a
but
coupon. My
you
dad
should have. Because
probably should have had to go in for a
listen,
refund.
87 was a wild ride if you were following the Brewers at the time. And I know that's before you guys' time, and I'm dating myself, and I'm an old head, but wow, that was a crazy year.
Right, because they lost. I see what you're doing now. At first, I thought you were straying George Webb's burgers.
Oh, no, not at all.
Thank you.
No.
That's fine.
No, the Brewers had a 13-game winning streak, followed by.
I did not pick up on that at all.
Yeah,
No, because you said you should have to go give the burgers back, or you should want to give them
go
back.
back and
No,
pay
you
for
should
it.
I
pay
get
for the
it.
burgers.
Yeah.
After
Because
the
of the
12-game
because of the
skid.
losing streak. Trust me, I know about the 87 Brewers.
Okay,
I'm not
I
trying
know
to be
you
that
do.
guy.
I know you do.
Hold on, Doug. He knows about his 87
I
Brewers.
know. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
what
You
are
should
things
have
that I've
heard
learned
Armin in 4K coming in and telling everybody, hey, you shut up and you listen to me about these 87 Brewers.
It's funny how Team Streak 1, though, is regarded as one of the most famous and memorably popular Brewer teams of all time. But this Team Streak, everyone says they're stinking, they're boring, and everyone's.
This is not. Listen.
Well, they have not gone on
Whoever
a
is calling
13-game
this
winning
Team Streak, let full stop. This is not Team Streak
2.0.
It's not. It
The
is
one
not.
thing-
They
the-
win a few, they lose a few. They win. They're more of a like
They're
a
streaky.
they're
They're
a
streaky. That's why you'd call it Team Streak.
they're
Yeah.
like a seesaw team.
Okay.
Yeah.
To Billy's point, I think the other thing was when they win, they've been winning really well.
Yeah.
Except for last time was a
And then
one-run.
they get their ass kicked.
Yeah, so I get it. Now, we haven't had any crazy, but we did start with a couple of hitting streaks this year,
Yeah.
right? This year, Jackson and Bryce, right, out of the gates.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
After
technically
5 strikeouts, yeah. See? Up and down.
We won 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
We're 7 wins away from winning 10 in a row.
That's a great way of thinking about it, Armin.
correct?
Yeah.
That
I
checks your math
appreciate
on
that.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, sorry, Sam Decker. Last night was a fun game.
Bowers into center field. Myers is back. He is running out of room, and that's gone. Number 3 for Bowers.
Jeff Levering on FanDuel Sports Network with the call. Sam Decker famously on Twitter in the last 24 hours. This team's no fun.
Well, Jake Bowers, of course, had the emotional boost of having Carson in the crowd 2 nights ago.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Still riding that high.
You know, he's
Probably
riding that
was,
high of
yeah.
having one guy out there say, "Yeah, I'm somebody's favorite player."
And he's got chase down Shohei Ohtani there as a two-way sensation.
There you go.
Love that.
The Brewers held on to edge the Astros at AmFam last night, 4-3. Chad Patrick again solid on the mound, goes 6 2/3, 4 hits, did make a mistake. 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk for manager Pat Murphy.
Chad continues to show that he belongs here, and 6 2/3 of flawless against a good ball club. That's obviously, you look at their names in their lineup. They're very very good ball club.
Series wraps up this afternoon at American Family Field. Quinn Priester toes the rubber up against Framber Valdez. Game gets underway 12-10.
Dave, You in there for the post game press?
I was the one who asked that question, actually.
Let it go,
Awesome.
Dave. Let's
There
go.
you Could you do me a quick favor next time you're in there?
Sure.
Before Murph goes and talks, could you just grab every pen off of the table?
Yeah.
Would that be a possibility just so there wouldn't be anything to just like slam
Get
onto
him
the
to
table?
stop
or
tapping
like
it.
that?
Yeah. I don't think I have that kind of cachet.
Yeah, you're gonna
Hey,
you're
Brad,
gonna
call Mike Vassell.
or
You're gonna have to call
Kurt
Mike
Hogue
Vassell
or somebody
for that
like
one.
that to
Hey,
make that request.
Nick Mears got a big out last night. Another high leverage situation. for
Oh
Nick
yeah.
Mears.
Oh, yeah.
Nick
Nick
Mears.
Mears.
Add to
Absolutely
his
fantastic.
all-star candidacy.
Nick Mears All-Star this year, maybe.
Who knows?
How much money am
Maybe.
I winning from you in that bet?
Is it? It's a 10
It's
to
10 to
1.
We gave you 10 to 1 odds.
You don't know what I bet on it yet, though. What's my
Yeah,
bet?
why we
that's
asked,
what we're
yeah.
asking.
1 unit.
What,
One
$1?
unit?
I'm worried that's a quarter. So
$5.
it's
I'm paying you
Five?
both $5 if he's not an All-Star.
Okay.
In Glazers. No, I'll pay you $5 cash money.
guaranteed you ain't me an all-star.
I'll Venmo you right now. Actually, fine. Dave, what's your Venmo?
Go to the
ahead.
hardwood. Another NBA playoff down to the wire thriller. Are the Cavs in trouble?
Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. And it is over. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
120 to 119. The Pacers up on the Cavs 2-0, winning both games in Cleveland.
And 2 of their last 3 games they've won in the last 40 plus seconds. Last night was 47 seconds. They were down 7. Obviously against the Bucks, it was at 40 seconds. They were down 7. That's remarkable. And as much as you need to be complicit on the other side, and the Cavs were slightly, the Pacers were just really, really good. They executed flawlessly down the stretch. And I know it pains Armin to say it,
Does.
but dude, that Tyrese Halliburton is making himself a ton of fans across the country right now.
He is. Steph Curry,
Oh,
meanwhile,
Why don't you just move
probably
on,
won't
Dave?
play in game 2. The Warriors beat the Timberwolves 99-98 in game 1 of that series out west. Moving on to the ice, the Admirals tonight, they've got their backs against the wall. How you boys feeling about that? I know you represent, Armin's representing.
Not great being down 2-0, but they've been in this position before, and
Yeah.
they've picked themselves off the mat. You know, I don't think Rockford's one of the tougher places to play. There, I said it. I hope you're out there listening to me, Rockford Ice Hogs fans. I think we're going to go in there, play good hockey, and hopefully some pucks go in, and we stay alive in this
All
series.
right.
Let's go. Get the forecheck going.
Let's
If
go.
you're in
Forecheck.
Milwaukee, you can listen to it on Fox Sports 920. If you're not in Milwaukee and you're around our great state of Wisconsin or anywhere in the world, you can listen to it on the iHeartRadio app.
And you should, because Aaron Sims is going to be
Awesome.
an electric factory tonight.
The great
Without-
Aaron Sims.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs, the Canes and Caps, they went to overtime.
Now Orlov around behind for Martinook. That one goes back to the point to Slavin. And they score! Jacob Slavin through a screen. Carolina wins game 1 in overtime.
2-1, the final score in overtime. That is the game 1 between those two teams. And the Oilers beat the Golden Knights 4-2 in that
That was
series
sick.
in game 1. I'm sorry. I know.
Stoner scores 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. And instead of getting any pucks on net, I think they took 5 shots in 1 power play in the third period. They took 7 in the entire period.
Crazy.
It's like the Admirals in game 2. I mean, they outshot Rockford by about, I think, 12 shots.
2 weird games, really, in
Two
Milwaukee.
really weird
Yeah.
game. They lost 6-1.
Yeah, weird
Well,
stuff.
luckily, we're gonna take it in Screw City tonight. I
That's
found out during game 2 they call Rockford Screw City.
That's a tough look
Oh,
for a town
okay.
for a town to be called Screw City. Who wants to be known as Screw City?
Well, I did try to call my Trailblazer that in high school and did not work very well.
That's a tough look.
It wasn't very good. It didn't really work. 877-794-1973. Thank you, Dougie. We'll talk to you in an hour.
That's good, boys.
Doug Russell love muscle.
I'm just saying Screw City. Well, we'll bring in Aaron Nagler, but that's like, Rusty Nail Town. Like, who wants to be known as that? Like,
Yeah, I can't imagine that's a very awesome, humbling it is, right? Like, because you got to be at the bottom to then be up here. But they call themselves the Ice Hogs. That's not all that great to begin with.
Nah,
This
I know.
guy is an absolute savage, and none of those disparaging remarks have ever been thrown at this young man, Aaron Nagler, who joins us now, thanks to the advent of technology on YouTube, on X, on Facebook for one more day, as well as 97.3 The Game and our game network of stations. What's going on, Nags?
Man, there's a lot going on leading into this. Wow, there's
a lot.
so much to chew on. I will begin by saying Sam Decker said nothing wrong. That
All
is
right,
it.
That's he
That-
can have his
said
opinion.
Nothing wrong.
He can have his opinion, whether or not it's right or wrong. He can have his
Not
opinion.
a question of right or wrong. That's how he feels about it, and I very much agree with him.
Yeah, but it's subjective.
Of course it is, but he
Okay.
said nothing wrong. You guys
All right,
are getting
that's
after my
fine.
boy Sam. I'm
no,
here to
just
defend
me.
his honor.
Well, and Armin is more Sam Decker positive than he has ever been in his entire life.
That's a good
because
point.
you are talking about somebody that would have given this man a lot of potential stomach ulcers, like
Right.
some real pain and frustration.
Seriously.
Sam Decker has caused our friend Armin Sarian. However, the fun brand of baseball, the energy, it is also going to be tough when you don't have Willie Adames on the team. Like that's
part
going
of
to
it, right?
generally
That's part
mean
of
that you
it.
probably aren't going to have as much fun. Now, Nags, would the Packers be as much fun if Jair Alexander wasn't on the football team? Because it seems like as this soap opera just continues to turn, and I saw your clip last week of just wake me up when training camp is here. Is
I'll
that
find out
when
if he's on the team or not?
Is that the theoretical deadline? Is there a deadline, or is it now just feeling like they're going to come to some kind of resolution and Jair is going to have a contract here with the Green Bay Packers potentially in 2025?
You talk about like what's this team going to be like without Jair Alexander? I mean, we've been kind of through that experiment several times over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. Man, the headlines keep getting churned out, but there's no forward movement. I know there's been a lot of kind of reports, quote unquote, about things happening behind the scenes, potential talks, reconciliation, which I think is a hilarious word when talking about a guy who is under contract. But as far as like deadlines go, there isn't one really, other than, okay, is he on the field at training camp? Or actually, if you really want to like circle a date on your calendar, it's June, I believe, 12th when the mandatory mini camp happens, right?
Okay.
That's he's under contract. He's got to be there. And if he's not there, then it's a story. But until then, it's all voluntary, and I don't have time for it.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird situation because it's not really anything like a standoff. It's not really like it's not a holdout.
all.
But the Packers do have leverage, you would say, because he's under contract. But it's not that type of situation. Jimmy Johnson used to say when people would accuse some of his Cowboys players they were getting of not being smart guys or whatever, he would say there's a difference between being, like having a personality and not being smart. He said certain guys have a personality, but if they're smart, I can reason with them. That's always been my question with Jair. Like Jair's got a unique personality. He's on different planets. We don't know where he is. He can be funny. He can do his own thing. But if he's a reasonable guy to some extent, the Packers could reason with him and say, look, we can both get something out of this. If you come and play your best, you need to create a market for yourself in this league when your contract comes up, and we need you to be on the field to help this team win. You could reason with him in that. And that's kind of always been where I've been at with Jair and why I think it's a better chance than not he's coming back. I don't know how you feel about that, or if you think there's still a better chance than not he's coming back. I know what you're saying about we don't know yet, so it doesn't matter.
Well, here's my thing, and I've said this kind of point blank since the end of the season. I think clearly the frustrations, they go both ways, right? You heard Jair's quote at the end of the year in the locker cleanout session where he talked about, I don't even know if I'm going to be here next year. I got nothing positive to say, etc. He's clearly frustrated with the team, but that frustration is also shared by the team going towards Jair, especially down the course last half of this past season where you're going all week with him practicing and then suddenly he's not a no-go on Saturday. And if you're, the coaching staff and you've spent all week designing a game plan with the idea that, okay, there's a decent chance we have Jair back. Now suddenly you're scrambling on Saturday to change your call sheet and you do this multiple times. I can understand the coaching staff being, more than a little frustrated with Jair in particular. I do think, yes, we have the benefit now of sitting back months later, time has passed, and maybe cooler heads prevail, etc. But man, you don't have to look very far to see headlines from really respected beat guys, whether it's Rob Demovsky, whether it's Tom Silverstein, talking about how, oh yeah, there's no way he's back. Like we're talking about a 99% chance he's gone. That's coming from somewhere. Like there's one of my favorite lines from JFK. There's a lot of smoke there, but there's some fire.
There's got to be a little
I think
fire.
the fire we're talking about is this frustration with the, specifically on the coaching staff. Like, we're done dealing with this. This is 3 years now where he's not on the field half the time. And when he is, it's a question of, okay, is he going to go? Can he go? Can't he go? Like, I understand it. The Packers being at a point where they're just frustrated with it and they're ready to move on.
Yeah. And I think, Nags, that's where there's a situation that there does need to be a cooling off period for both sides, because I do actually get I do get the frustration on both sides. Listen, you know who's the most frustrated about the lack of being able to be on the football field? Jair Alexander.
Right.
He likes at some point you are a professional football player to play football. You being injured is not an enjoyable process. So like I totally get the frustration on both sides. And then if you think, and I don't know the situation enough. This is just me speculating at this point. But if you believe that some people think that you are more hurt or less hurt than you feel you are, I totally get where the frustration comes on both sides. But to both being in a better position in 2025 to deal with the situation, right? Like Jair knowing if we rework this contract, all right, 23, but when we play our last game, locker clean out,
right,
then you are a free agent, right? That is an incentive that I think it would appear players would enjoy. And then for the Green Bay Packers, it's all right, we're going to cut down some of this money. We brought in Nate Hobbs, so we know that we can supplement and we can be okay if you are MIA for a couple of weeks when we think that you're able to go. They've orchestrated their defensive roster to be in a better position if he is out on game day when you lead up to the week. I think like this year, both sides have almost are starting to maneuver themselves as if we know this is going to be a part of our process.
This is it. It's the last dance.
Pushing ourselves for it.
Right. I think there's every possibility that occurs, but I keep coming back to Spoon's report from a couple weeks ago where he talked about there was a trade on the table. There was a team interested, but Jair wouldn't even budge in regards to changing his contract, to touching the contract. Now, maybe he does that to stick around in Green Bay for, like you're saying, like 1 year final last kind of
rip up
fresh air with,
make 25 my last year.
Exactly. Yep. And then hit the market next season. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
It doesn't, from everything I've read and kind of heard, it doesn't sound like a guy who wants to play ball, who wants to, like, look, you signed me to this deal. This is my deal. And if you want to cut me, cut me. I don't know. Like, we'll see where it lands, but this is why, to bring it right back around full circle, this is why I said, wake me up in training camp. Like, if he's on the team, great. If he's not on the team, we're on our way. Like, I love Jair. I love him as a Packer. I love when he's on the field. I think he's a great football player. But at some point, man, you've missed half the games in the last 2 seasons. Like that frustration, I totally understand.
Yeah, they're a better football team when he's healthy on the field, but the when is in all capital letters, boldened, and potentially italicized and underlined. Like that. That's where you stress how
neon
important.
Glowing, flashing. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to get a neon light of that one of when. So Nags, when would the ship have sailed on Packers fans wanting George Pickens a member of the Green Bay Packers? You talked about this a little bit before you came on here. Was it because they drafted Matthew Golden and ended the 22-year drought? Was it because they then also doubled up with Savion Williams, who people are starting to watch and be like,
that's my boy.
That's fun.
That's fun. Guy right there.
That'd be a lot of fun for us to be able to watch. Or is it that, you just watched him try to fight guys after the play too many times and Packers fans didn't want that around 1265?
See, we must have very different social feeds because you talk about Packers fans having moved on from wanting George Pickens, sir. I got people in my mentions today, this morning. Like, why didn't the Packers do that deal? Like,
yes, there are some.
That's what
I'm just saying, man. This has been. He is the sub T. Higgins, like the guy they should have got, and the Packers would have won a Super Bowl if they had only drafted George Pickens instead of Watson. Like, dude. Those truthers are still out there, 100%.
I said to Billy, the internal emotional struggle for all Packer fans is two competing motivations.
Like the angel and the devil on the shoulder.
Yes. And one is that the desire and hunger to always have a move made, to always make a move, to always say yes to any possible move. And this side right here, which is to always uphold the standard of Packer people first, no character problems, no locker room. How do these things,
can't live in harmony? There's real issues here, no doubt about it. Yeah. But look, I do think there is something to the idea of what types of people they want to bring into the locker room. And all you have to watch is Watson's time in the NFL and Pickens' time in the NFL to see why the Packers preferred Watson. I'm sorry, but that's like right there for everyone to see. I don't doubt for a moment that Pickens will put up numbers in Dallas and people will be excited and I'll get mentions throughout the entire season. The Packers could have had him. Like, I don't care. Like that is
Okay.
not the type of player the Packers would ever bring in. And I'm very, very happy with the Packers wide receiver group as is.
Are you thinking that there would be a move? Because, and then immediately right after, Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, Monday Morning Quarterback, said, Aaron Rodgers really liked Romeo Dobbs. He was very fond of him. Now, I don't remember that. Next.
I don't remember that at all. I remember Romeo Dobbs taking a shot at Rodgers when they moved off of Rodgers and saying, I don't think there's anything, Jordan Love can do anything Aaron Rodgers can do. I mean, he literally said that.
Those were his words. I just wanted to make sure somebody else remembered. I don't remember them being all that fond of each other. I don't remember Romeo being the guy that he was chopping it up, having breakfast with or having lunch with. But hey, maybe he was. Maybe they really were fond of each other. Maybe he is still going to play quarterback in Pittsburgh. But I don't see the Packers subtracting to this room. They added in all this competition because Dobbs and Watson both going into contract years.
Yes, 100%. And that's the other thing. Like, if you are entertaining a trade for Dobbs, and I don't think they would, but if they do, what is the return given you just watched Pickens go for a third and some change on the pick swap later and blah, blah, blah. But, okay, so if that's a third for Pickens and his upside, and it's still monstrous, right? He can be a monster in this league, no doubt about it. Dobbs, not that kind of receiver. Certainly, I think a very good NFL wide receiver, probably a number 2 in most offenses. Is he getting what? Are they getting a 5th for him? A 4th? Maybe. I doubt a 4th. So at some point, just hold on to him and take the comp pick when he walks. Like, he's probably going to be a 5th or maybe even a 4th, depending on the contract he signs. So I'm with you. I think they want that competition. And look, he's the most accomplished receiver on the roster at the moment, and he's a guy that Jordan Love trusts implicitly. You talk about third downs, looking for a guy with regularity. I mean, Jordan Love always looking for Dobbs. I don't see them moving off of the one guy that the quarterback has shown a consistent rapport with. I'd be very surprised if that occurred.
Is he the leading receiver if the Packers are the best they can be next year, or is it Jaden, or is it Golden? Do you have an opinion on that? How you think the offense should look? Because I feel like Jaden Reed, there's so much more to want that we're wanting so much more there because we know he can do it.
I don't
know what's best for the Packers.
It'll be neck and neck, but I think it's got to. To answer your question, I think it's got to be Jaden Reed if they're going to be at the optimal that this offense can kind of operate at. I don't doubt for a moment that Dobbs will get his. Dobbs is a chain mover. I mean, you talk about just anytime it's a third down and whatever, he has been the one reliable guy on the roster who you can count on to move those chains. But Reed, I mean, he had a very disappointing sophomore year. Certainly the back half of the 2024 season was very disappointing. But, man, he still got all the talent in the world. This kid broke Sterling Sharp's rookie record for receptions. That doesn't just happen. I think they've got to get him on the field more. I think there's this kind of weird pigeonholing of Reed by the coaching staff where, he's barely played in 2 wide receiver sets. He only hits the field when they're on 3 wideouts. And it's like, that just limits his opportunities. I do think there's a decent chance he gets more of those opportunities this season. And I do think you'll see a guy who is much more consistent, really takes a big step in his game. I know because of the world we live in now, the way wide receivers pop earlier than they used to, guys come out of college, so many guys going through a very different route to the NFL where they're starting 7-on-7 stuff, much younger. Right. Yeah. And the college game is so wide open and the guys get tons of production. So they hit the NFL a little differently. But the adage is still true, especially in an offense as complicated and as kind of varied as the Packers and LaFleur's is. I mean, I'm not surprised that some of these guys may be taking 2-3 years to blossom and become all that they can be. And I 100% expect that from Jaden Reed in 2025.
Which of the 2 wide receivers are you most excited about? Because there was an immediacy that I remembered. Can't remember when our conversation was, but you and I talked about Matthew Golden, and you were eyeing that young man from Texas up early.
Yes,
and
sir.
Your video, Savion Williams, when he gets drafted, is one of my favorite Aaron Nagler clips of all time. Where the stun, the shock, the surprise, the excitement. I almost thought you were going to have an accident right there.
I couldn't help it. Okay, so the context there though is that just prior to that, the Chiefs had jumped up to draft Noel Williams, who was my favorite corner. And so I was convinced that the Chiefs had done that like just to get ahead of the Packers. And the Packers would have drafted Noel Williams, who every year I do my draft crush video, and Noel Williams was in my list of draft crushes. And I thought, oh, they stole my draft crush. So then to turn around and hear live, we got Jerry Kramer and Dave Robinson live on stage, and they say Savion Williams, like the words come out of Dave Robinson's mouth. That was also one of my draft crushes. It blew my mind because for years, for over a decade, the Packers have never, ever taken a draft crush of mine. And now 2 years in a row. Last year was Kitano Ladapo. This year it's Savion Williams. Brian clearly has found the Cheesehead TV YouTube channel.
Was it weird?
I'm very excited.
Was it a weird, surreal moment to know that you'd finally been seen? Not just like we're taking Ross Verba or John Michaels.
Right.
Or,
This is not that, right? 100%. Yes. The guys that were on offer that I was hoping for, at least one of them got selected, which never, ever happens. Yes, it is. I don't want to say it's validation, but it is. Okay. It is like a jolt of energy.
That can't be good for the brand of Nagler's Never Right, though.
I know it's a problem. It's problematic. I might need to make new shirts. I don't know.
Speaking of shirts and you being validated emotionally, I saw the Lynn Dickey jersey pass across my eyes. That's at the Pro Shop now.
Here's what's crazy. Yes, the Packers Pro Shop currently has a Lynn Dickey jersey for purchase, but only physically in the Pro Shop. You can't get it online.
That's wild. That part's
upsetting.
wild.
I need one of these. I need one of these.
Were you a little upset the G wasn't in the sleeve? That would be a little more authentic.
We literally talked about this on the Cheesehead TV happy hour last night.
I know how you're thinking.
100%. 100%.
Not that I
someone asked. Someone asked, does it have the G on the sleeve? And I said no. Unfortunately, not.
Because everyone always rolls up with the Packers uniform set is pristine, classic, never been changed. I'm like, yes, that's true. However, they did have certain changes.
There was augmentations. I tell you what, the combination of that G on the sleeve,
it's not bad.
The numbers on the pants with the stripes,
it's not bad.
Is the height of Packers uniform, and I want a repeat. I want that to come back in some capacity.
That's
here in the modern
throwback.
era.
That's a good throwback.
That would be a good throwback. That would be better than the Powerball number that they had at one particular point in time. And
with a little number in the middle there.
Yeah. Respect the land of the 20s.
I don't hate that, but I would much prefer this. I'd much prefer those. The G on the sleeve. Those are
the ones, especially the away uniforms. That's the change that I make when I play Madden. Throw it into the 80s. The white ones with the sleeve.
And also, I know we're running out of time. I really got to do this quick. Aaron, I always think of you because I think you're going to think this is funny. When people tell me Bill Belichick with, the 50-year age difference, and I'm like, another quarterback that was dating younger women, Curly Lambeau, at the end of his career. Like, that's just so funny. Like
Curly Lambeau just destroying his marriage with the Miss America contestant.
He did the same thing. He did the same. No, it wasn't the same length of years.
I'm just finding out about this at 10:26 on May 7th.
Billy, there's so much amazing kind of fodder in Packers history. Yes, and that's an amazing episode. The whole Curly Lambeau's whole personal life is insane, dude. It should be a movie.
He had a similar deal. Hudson? He had a similar deal going to Billy, but Belichick, but not the same age difference because he didn't live as long as
right.
But he was doing wild stuff like that at the end of his life, right?
Absolutely. Hey, man, live your life. In the time of your life, live. That's what I'm saying.
What's Aaron Nagler now? The theater background for you. You've been able to see what a director does, right? You've been able to work in that situation.
Yes,
well, what do you think of Jordan Hudson's directing skills in that this Sunday sit down interview on CBS this morning?
Okay. First of all, she's not directing. She's there as someone in PR.
She thought she was directing.
Obviously, she has been kind of miscast in that role. I think there's no one watching this that doesn't think that. But I will say, and I've gone on a tirade about this a couple times in our happy hours. I'm so sick of this story. It is so overcovered. Everyone's talking about it each and every day. And by the way, everything I've ever learned about Bill Belichick and his current girlfriend, I have learned against my will. Yet I know it all. When everyone was like, well, she stepped in and said, we're not talking about that. As far as the question being, how did they meet? I know how they met, and I never wanted to know. So it's like just a CBS person being like, well, so how did you meet? Everyone, we know it's on record. Can we keep the ball moving, please. I'm so sick of this story.
The only way that
I am so done.
But people want to know.
I
already know. This is my point. It's all out there.
I need to know everything. I don't need to know what she's doing to make the love as strong.
I will say what is hilarious though is Belichick then getting all prickly about, well, this is what the agreed parameters. Yeah, you're not at Foxborough anymore, buddy. You don't have some lapdog media that wants to save their access. Like, this is what a real journalist does. It asks the questions, even though you said this is what we're.
Oh my God! But this Sunday on CBS is like the nicest.
Exactly. That's the other thing. It's not like it was like on Meet the Press. Come on, Lord. God forbid a journalist do his job.
I'm fascinated with it. I can't get enough of it. But listen, I also watched The Bachelor. I watched Teen Mom for a number of years, right? Like, I was all in on this stuff, all right, Nag? So I think the real problem for you would be if your daughters start bringing up the Belichick relationship, then you're completely hosed because then they're talking about all football that's not football. Taylor Swift and Jordan Hudson.
Can't handle it. I got enough with the Taylor Swift stuff. I can't handle Jordan Hudson in my life. Nope. No, sir.
Oh, well, we appreciate it, brother. Always the best when you get to chop it up with us. And we cannot thank you enough for taking some time out of your day. And what's that beautiful YouTube logo that you have hanging up there? How many subscribers, how many downloads?
It's 100,000 subscribers there on the YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
TV, and continuing to grow. Yes, sir.
That's so cool. I know they hand those out. That's so awesome.
We can thank Donald Driver for that because really it all happened because we did that live stream with him last year.
Well, let's get Double D in there and let's get it up to 400.
Let's do some more. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's do that. And why don't you go and join that cast of 100,000 plus subscribers on YouTube at Cheesehead TV and go follow this man, Aaron Nagler. All of the best conversation about your Green Bay Packers. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, boys. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. And hey, enjoy watching Brewers baseball. They're going to be more fun because they're not going to lose as much.
Here's hoping.
There he is. That's Aaron Nagler hanging out with us here on No BS on the Game. Just the goods. He is always fun and always appreciate his time. We appreciate you hanging out with us and giving us the opportunity to put some money in your pocket. Chance for you to win $1,000 on the other side. It's No BS on the Game.
Shipping theft, fraud, corruption. Criminals never rest. Luckily, neither does Packer Freight. Packer Freight protects your shipments by fighting high risks with an arsenal of high-tech tools. Their hard-hitting strategies add layers of defense by verifying carrier identities, extending real-time visibility into truck movements, and tracking assets with sensors and AI-powered insights, all backed by ruthless vigilance. Steal your freight? Forget about it. For the grit that won't quit, visit packerfreight.com.
Coming up Wednesday, the Mike Heller Show goes noon to 3 on the Game. The Brewers, a night game on Tuesday, matinee on Wednesday. Hunter Baumgart will join us at 2 o'clock. Nick Osen, Badger Recruiting never stops. He'll join us with the latest. That happens at 1:35, plus the other news of the day. It's the Mike Heller Show, Wednesday, noon to 3 on the Game.
Drew Wilson from 97 through the Game for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. When it comes to pizza, there is no other pizza quite like Pep's Prohibition Special. It starts with a combination of sweet and slightly spicy Italian sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, yellow, green, and red peppers, and just the right amount of red onions. Real Wisconsin mozzarella, and it's finished off with fresh Italian seasoning. My gosh, that's the good stuff. Make your house a draft house with Pep's Prohibition Special Pizza.
Hey, y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow famously said, "Into each person's life, some rain must fall." At Ryan Waterproofing, we tend to agree, as long as it's not in your basement. Free estimates, because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com.
Hey, it's Armin, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It's been a game changer, all thanks to the Reamer Remodel team. RIEMER Remodel.com.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. We also have beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in store or order flowers for delivery at sendikshome.com. And to make it easy, we're offering chocolate-covered strawberries and a build-your-own cupcake station, Saturday and Sunday. Learn more at sendix.com. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org. Tired of feeling like you're in a fishbowl every time you hit the road? It's time to tint your windows. Tinting your windows will not only block harmful UV rays, but also reduces glare and keeps your car cooler on those scorching summer days. We offer a lifetime warranty on film and installation. Charisma offers a color-stable film that makes your vehicle look great, and a ceramic film that blocks 99% of UV rays and 85% of sun's heat. Ceramic window film is the best you can get and keeps you cool in blistering summer heat. 262-444-2525. CharismaCustoms.com.
It's Brian Butch for Window Nation. Feeling pressured to go with the expensive guys who want you to overspend on windows? You have options with Window Nation semi-annual sale. You'll get 60% off and a free entry door with a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. That's a whole lot of savings on top of quality vinyl windows. Their windows also come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving in the future. Hurry, sale ends soon. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel. This is No BS with Billy and Saria.
I've waited for this. I'm so excited.
On the Game.
Here's your chance to win $1,000. Win some bonus bucks here on the Game. $1,000 could be yours by entering this nationwide keyword at 973thegame.com. Enter the word win. That's win now at 973thegame.com. Enter the word win at 973thegame.com, and you could win potentially $1,000 here on the Game. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. A little delayed additional tax return.
Hey, I would take that, Billy.
I'd absolutely take that. It's under the hand pay limit. So like when you're at Potawatomi Casino Hotel,
right? I wouldn't know.
You win $1,000. You don't have the young lady or sir does not put the money into your hand. That's $1,200 on.
Right. I've heard about that. I haven't experienced it for myself. The hand pay limit, but not yet. But you know what? Maybe Dancing Drums is calling my name. I don't know, but like we'll see what happens. You know, you never know what could happen.
I can't wait for you to hit a massive slot machine win.
Doubt it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen one of these days that we're at Potawatomi Casino.
You gotta play
after the show.
You gotta play like the highest odds or whatever, or the highest.
No, you don't. No, that's folly. That's folly.
All right,
I've seen somebody hit $1,000 betting $1.
You believe in tipping because you're supposed to tip the hand pay person.
This
absolutely
is a big,
This is a
Yes,
big debate.
A little bit.
Now, if I'm winning that type of juice, I'm tipping because I'm feeling good about it. I'm gonna tip. I don't know how much though.
Right. The small bills right there. I'm not peeling out one of those Ben Franklins. I'll tell you that much. That's outrageous for your boy, but we'll see where it ends up going to. 877-794-1973. Love a couple of these messages that we've gotten on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line. First off, 414. Anyone get Kyrie Irving vibes from Jair Alexander?
Nah, I mean, there's some comps, I guess, that they have interesting personalities. Kyrie's probably done more in the league he played in than Jair's done in his.
I would agree.
In terms of impact. That's different positions, different sports.
I get where you're going with a different. Like, you're right. They're big personalities.
Yeah.
Kyrie's injuries have been more. I'm thinking of the ACL. Is the easiest one.
ACL.
The hamstrings were what he was dealing with when the Bucks played them, or was that an ankle for him?
No, I think he twisted his ankle or broke it. Is that right? I think it was an ankle. Yeah.
One had a hamstring, one had an ankle.
Yeah.
He had the ankle. Harden had the hamstring. And that's why Harden was still Game 7 Harden. Okay, so a lot of those I feel like a little bit more, acute injuries, right? Like in-action deals. Some of Jair's have been rather circumstantial and lingering soft tissue, which I think is one where when we were talking about it with Nags, more of the point of frustration. However, he also missed 11 games with a fractured collarbone after the shoulder injury. With the shoulder injury when he got paid in 2021. So I could see the comparison. I just think he's a different kind of cat. And this is one of those times where, as Nags mentioned, like doesn't necessarily want to play ball. It does appear that maybe Jair is less open to allowing for a conversation on his contract negotiation than people are making it out to be.
And I don't know.
They're going to have a resolution. He'll come back.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a little bit more hardball that he would be trying to play. I don't know why, because I don't see a whole lot of value out there for him.
And maybe there's, this idea, and we're talking about it now, that maybe he doesn't really want to play that bad. It's starting to be what I'm thinking of. If I don't want to say like BJ Raji just went away, one day, and that was what it was. Now everyone's got different reasons for it in their life, and that's fine. But I'm not sure if
there are also
but it could be.
There are also some people in professional sports, Armin, that like being professional athletes. They don't necessarily love
the game,
what goes into becoming a great professional athlete,
the business,
the work, everything else, the game. I mean, there's plenty of players that are exceptionally talented.
Yeah.
And you hear it all the time. I mean, people laugh at it of the cliche when you hear a GM or a head coach say, we're looking for guys that love football. But more now than ever before, that is something you actually stress.
Especially when guys roll up now into the league with money in their pocket already. Not waiting to fill up their bank account as much as they can in this finite part-time
Do they
job.
love what comes with football, or do they love football? That's a real question. That's a real one that you have to find out. I like this one from Matt in Minneapolis before timeout. Do we think Musgraves will make a huge jump if healthy? I've thought he's got tons of talent, but inconsistent on the field. That's a dude that's had very, very tough luck with the injuries. Because remember, after he scores his first touchdown against the Rams his rookie year in that 20-6 game, I think they play Brett Rippon when Stafford misses the home game here at Lambeau. You're like, okay, now we see it a little bit. You see some of the ability that he has down the field stretch. Now, it was a gotcha play, right? They do the double fake. Same deal how he gets the touchdown in Dallas. Real gotcha situation. He's wide open. He's got real talent, and he's got something that Tucker Kraft maybe doesn't. Tucker Kraft, I think, has a fuller, more all-around game than Luke Musgrave. But I absolutely think you see him, if healthy, all offseason and into the start of the season. They're going to have stuff for Luke Musgrave to try to showcase what he can do, because as much as we've talked about Van Ness on the defensive side, Armin, Luke Musgrave was the guy taken by the Packers right after him. So you've watched Jaden Reed ball out for a time. You've watched Tucker Kraft emerge and really easily take over the number one spot at your position. It's put up or shut up time right now for Luke Musgrave.
Well,
and I do expect him to have a big year.
There was an idea that he might be the guy to break out against the Eagles, coming back from the injury, being the vertical threat. We were going to lose Watson. There was that idea there. he's, there's a reason he was drafted ahead of Tucker Kraft. Doesn't mean he's automatically a better player, but there's a reason he was drafted ahead of him, has some sort of talent, the vertical talent. Like you said, Billy, the injuries have been tough luck through no fault of his own. That doesn't mean, he's going to get anything free for it, but Tucker Kraft's emerged as a great tight end. I think he's emerged being able to play his football mentality. He's been productive. There's no reason to think Luke Musgrave still can't fulfill every type of expectation the Packers have for him. And that would be a huge coup for the Packers offense. If he could emerge and become a game breaker, become a mismatch guy, all of a sudden you have him and Tucker and hopefully this young stable receivers. And of course the running game to help out Jordan Love. That would be a huge, huge development if they could do that for the Packers.
I like Matt in Wausau said the Packers took way too long to move off David Bakhtiari and also now Alexander. You're no good to us if you can't play. Move on. I get that sentiment. The only pushback is if the money's already spent, it's hard to just completely cut your losses with the situation. Money's not fully already spent with Jair Alexander, but a decent amount of that is guaranteed cash. So some of it already is going to come off the Packers pocketbook. They're going to have to pay a certain amount of money already if they do cut him or if they try one more time to see if he can be a part of it. 877-794-1973. All right, we'll take a quick time out here. On the other side, I want to cue this up because we're going to talk about it into the third hour of the program and get Doug Russell's take on this as well in 15 minutes when he joins us for an update. How good can Chad Patrick be for the Milwaukee Brewers? They're going to play here in about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes from right now. First pitch at American Family Field. They try to sweep the Houston Astros. Your boy Chad Patrick yesterday, Armin, in that 39 jersey that I know you love so much.
Oh, yeah.
Formerly donned by your favorite Brewers starting pitcher of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Chad Patrick was a strike away from going 7 shutout innings last night. He's quietly locked himself into one of these rotation spots, right? Could he really be the Tobias Myers of this year? And how badly do the Brewers need him to be that? I want to cue that up coming up on the other side as well. I set the table for a parlay of the day, which is potentially going to hit if the zigzag theory works. Hit one Monday, 0 for 3 Tuesday, right back for 3 for 3 on a Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. It's Wednesday here on No BS. It's 97.3 The Game. It's Billy and Sari and Statewide with you on the game. Hey guys, Billy Schmidt here with my friends in Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've lost over 60 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. One of the best decisions I ever made. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast and easy in a natural and safe way without drugs or injections with the risk of serious side effects. There's no prepackaged meal program, no bars or shakes, and no exercising even required. Their program helps you reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good, and their coaches are there for ongoing support. Here's the best part. Their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other weight loss programs that you've either tried or heard of. So go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today and schedule your free consultation. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. You can even double it. That's up to a pound a day. Schedule your free consultation today by giving them a call at 262-433-4008. That's 262-433-4008. Or visit them online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. And when you sign up, make sure you tell them that you heard about it on the game and that Billy Schmidt sent you. Results may vary.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Churches is serving up all the flavor and all the fun for all of our fans. It's a block party, y'all. Thursday, May 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We've got a live DJ, games, prizes, all at 605 Church Street in Watertown. And you better believe it really is the place to be because we're giving you a chance to win Church's Chicken for a year. So see you there. Thursday, May 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 605 Church Street. Terms and restrictions apply.
Brian Butch here. Iron Jack Performance Apparel is hands down my favorite. The absolute best feel with the best odor and fabric protection in the industry with a lifetime guarantee. No questions asked. And now through May 11th, when you buy $50 or more, use promo code SPRING35 to take 35% off your entire order. Plus, Iron Jack will include free socks as a bonus. Go to ironjack.com. That's ironjoc.com now through May 11th. On behalf of myself and Paul Hansen, happy Mother's Day, Iron Jack Nation.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Sunshine to start our Wednesday, but more clouds on the way for this afternoon. Strong northeast wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up around 35 at times. 62 inland, 56 lakeside, clear and low 40s tonight. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Number 1 for sports and stuff.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Every day live from Milwaukee and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. 97.3 The Game.
This hour of No BS brought to you by Happy Place Hemp and HappyPlaceHemp.com. Everybody relax. Happy Place Hemp is here for all of your hemp-related needs, whether it's Delta 8, Delta 9 gummies, which are fantastic, and recreational, by the way, or the Drift Seltzer. You really want to enjoy these pro basketball playoffs that are going on night in and night out. 4-pack of Drift Seltzer. You get one each and every night. You get a 5 milligram, 10, 20 is a real time. That's going to be a good time for you to hang out on the couch. HappyPlaceHemp.com also has CBN CBD gummies if you're just looking for a good night's sleep, trying to close those eyes, or got some real aches and pains. There are tinctures, muscle creams as well. Fantastic. Learn about all of their products and how they can help you. HappyPlaceHemp.com and use promo code Billy to get 25% off your entire order every time at HappyPlaceHemp.com. So I mentioned this before the timeout. Armin, yesterday for the Milwaukee Brewers, it was Chad Patrick, number 39, formerly the number donned by your guy, Corbin Burns.
Yes.
And we made some jokes when it was Burns against Patrick starting in Arizona, and Patrick kind of outshined him. Now he comes back here and has his home debut, looked fantastic. He's hit into some tough luck into the wins and losses column. Like, he's been right on the cusp of finishing a very, very good start, and then seemingly what's ailed Freddie Peralta for a majority of his career is not being able to get the final big pitch to be able to get out of a last jam, right?
Yeah.
Like last night, I think he retired 13 straight after the first guy's out in the 7th inning, locking up the Houston Astros, shutting them down. 1-hit shutout baseball through 6 1/3, gives up a couple of C&I base hits, gets one more out, and then 3-run homer just into the short porch in right field. Like, that razor close to 7 scoreless innings at home in front of what was not a robust crowd at American Family Field last night.
However, it wasn't a big Tuesday night crowd, no.
However, a good enough crowd to realize that there would have been one individual that maybe would have been like that girl wearing the t-shirt yet last night, where Sal Frelick gave her the bat that said, "This girl loves Sal Frelick."
That's awesome.
There could have been this girl loves Chad Patrick. Because there's a lot of individuals, and we talk about the numbers in baseball and the different analytics and statistics. 7 scoreless innings is a number and an outing that people will attach to being, oh, that guy's a dude.
He's actually
just stumble into 7 innings scoreless. And it's one of the things that I thought boosted everyone's talk and feelings of Tobias Myers a year ago, because he had like 2 scoreless 8-inning performances.
And there's something to be said for, besides just vibes, for eating up innings. I mean, that's a talent some guys have. It's a skill, and it's something that all teams need at some point, especially the way starters are deployed now and relievers are deployed and there's no third time through as much. If you become a guy that can do that, you have a lot of value to the club. So listen, it might be found money with the Packers, with the Brewers and Chad Patrick, and hopefully it is. So
nice that he gets more run support last night than he did in his last 3 starts combined.
And let's get some for Quinn Priester today and get that sweep. That'd be nice to see as well. So
yeah, that would be very, very nice. And most importantly, Quinn Priester eyeing up a couple of things that might be a part of this parlay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's go. I just
Packers home dog. Brewers home dogs. Armin Brewers.
Man, you're really dialed in on the Packers playing some football right now.
We're just talking a lot about the Packers.
No, you're just reading too many of these Curly Lambeau stories,
bro.
I know. I love during the break that I got filled in on every single part of the Curly Lambeau storyline and all the back and forth. Ooh, we got even more of that. Maybe some audio vault stuff coming from Doug Russell, the Love Muscle. He's here with an update on the other side. And the parlay of the day is coming up next. It's No BS Hour 3s after this on the game. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. With over 50,000 satisfied patients, people with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Adam Pavlak here. Wednesday afternoons, I'm living the high life with Drew and KB. Thanks to my friends at Miller High Life. The champagne of beers, always flavorful, always refreshing. So join us, raise that bottle, and welcome to the high life.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Message marked urgent.
We're here for you now on the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
The Brewers are back over 500 again.
That is driven. Center field, Myers back, and it's off the wall. Contreras coming around third. He will score. Hoskins delivers a two-run double.
Jeff Levering on FanDuel Sports Network. The Crew did what they had to do and hung on to beat Houston 4-3 the final at American Family Field. Jake Bowers also in deep for manager Pat Murphy.
We got a taste of that last year with Jake. You know, we knew that's why we brought him back. We knew this is a kid that can help us win. Just when you think he can't hit a lefty or whatever it might be, that he comes through. Big homer tonight, 2 strikes. 2 outs and 2 strikes. We did a lot of things, so that changed the game for us.
Without a doubt, the Brewers have their brooms at the ready for today's possible sweep. Quinn Priester pitches against Framber Valdez, gets underway at 12:10. Now, what other Brewers know? Brandon Woodruff may be ready to return to the majors. Last night at AAA Nashville, another rehab start following shoulder surgery about a year and a half ago. Pitched 5 innings through 83 pitches. Not quite as long as he was originally scheduled, but he's like, you know what? I'm good.
I'm all good, yeah.
Allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, did give up a home run, walked 1, struck out 6. It was his 5th rehab assignment. The next one could be here.
And I actually like the baller move of saying,
yeah,
I'm all
good.
Good. I'm all good. That means he's feeling ready.
That means he's feeling good.
Had a buddy of mine, Armin, not to cut you off, sorry.
No, you're good.
Boots on the ground last night, being able to watch him down there in Nashville. He said he looked really good.
Good.
Said he gave out 2 big screams after he got somebody out, a good fist pump. That when you're doing that on a rehab assignment, that means you're ready to get back into big league.
Isn't it great to get a buddy report? Like my buddy was there to tell us how, but he looked good. Like
I was starting to get like I got a couple of live updates. I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm 3 weeks behind because we're going to Nashville Memorial Day weekend. Laura and I were bringing the baby, visiting Laura's sister, and we're going to a Sounds game.
You hitting Broadway?
Whatever it is, I guess so. Yeah, we're hitting
Broadway.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been Broadway
Get the
girls
baby
alone.
into Tootsies.
Yeah. Hey, walk the baby up to the 3rd floor of Tootsies on that like pulled down attic like
that's the one.
My buddy's bachelor party. My buddy's bachelor party. Sorry,
no. Go ahead.
He had far overserved.
Okay,
right? Far overserved.
He is the
bachelor party.
He is the bachelor.
Said, brother, why don't we get out of here? No, I'm going upstairs. Are you? He takes 1 step on, and again, because it's like an attic. They pull it down from the ceiling, try to walk up. He took 1 step on it, Armin.
Yeah.
Fuchs turned around. He's like, I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. Bill, can you take me home? I said, I got you, brother. Let's go.
I expect my experience to be different with a 10-month-old, but we don't know.
Maybe.
I mean,
Who's to say?
maybe.
Yeah. My parents are just rolling into town there today. So
Let's go.
They're showing
There
up
you
a day or
go.
two late. Yeah.
All right. Gasper's loving some live music. Live music galore.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everywhere.
It's
Even it's in the
wonderful.
airport terminals, which
Pretty
I think is
much.
my favorite.
Yeah.
one.
They're playing songs. I love
Hotel
that.
lobbies.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a fun town, and say hi to all the bachelorette parties because that's where they all go now.
That's where
because
they
that's
go.
the law.
Yeah.
Moving on to the hardwood, 2 more games in the NBA playoffs in Minneapolis.
Hayden out to Butler. Butler with DiVincenzo on Butler. Oh my goodness, he fires it off the glass, trying to draw a foul.
The Warriors beat the Timberwolves 99-88.
Without Steph, after a good 4 or 5 minute stretch, he pulls his hammy. And
Not going to play in game 2 either, probably.
That was impressive to see them not collapse, though, at least. And they have veterans on that group, obviously.
Well, it
about
helps
Dre
when
and
Anthony
Jimmy.
Edwards going off for a point in the first half.
Yeah, but
and, I mean, he couldn't throw water. He couldn't throw something into water if he was sitting on a boat.
I
He had
can't.
no chance.
I can't imagine the series future right now on Minnesota's a bad bet, though.
Right now,
On
Golden
that,
State
yeah.
up 1-0 in that series. Well, I mean, listen, you can score 48 points and still lose. Just ask Donovan Mitchell after last night. As the Pacers beat the Cavaliers 120-119. Indiana up 2-0, both wins coming on the road as the series shifts back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Dougie,
Yeah.
are they good?
Are the Pacers good?
Are the Pacers good?
Yeah, they're a good
Or
team.
are they
No, they're a good
more
team.
lucky than good?
No, they're a good team.
I see. I'm leaning in on that they're actually really good, and that they
Are they championship good? I don't know.
if they're Eastern Conference champion good, then
Don't do
we're
this.
going to be good on this radio.
Don't do this.
What? Why?
I don't need to live in a world where the Indiana Pacers are hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Well, yeah, you just cheer for those. You cheer for those plucky underdogs, those ones that don't get any respect and love, like the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics.
Listen. I understand.
Let's just go hate the corn farmers there in Indiana a little bit more.
It's an interesting take.
I understand maybe it's off brand for me, but I'm not cheering for them to win that. And they've got ABA banners up there, and let's make sure that that's all they've got.
Okay. Well, there's still a long ways to go. They still have to win 2 more games, but they are up on the number 1 seed, 2-0. Coming up tonight, game 2 between the Knicks and the Celtics. New York up 1-0 in that series against the defending champs that Armin's rooting for. And the Nuggets play the Thunder coming up tonight as well. Denver up 1-0 in that over Oklahoma City. Now, are you rooting for the Nuggets or the Thunder then in that one? Because you got the Thunder.
Hates
there.
Oklahoma City. There's nothing to do there.
So there's famously, there's nothing to do, as Armin told us yesterday, in Oklahoma City, but they are the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Had a fantastic regular season record. The Nuggets, well, there's a lot to do in Denver. It's a beautiful city.
Lots to do in Denver.
But just 2 years ago, they won it all. So you can't, you need those to have.
Point.
They already won their first championship. So I think Armin right now he's struggling with this.
Well, it's
And
a huge.
who he
No,
wants
I mean,
a really good
in
point,
this
Dougie.
series.
it's not that I am cheering against Oklahoma. I'd actually like to see Oklahoma City, do well.
Oh, really?
I like Oklahoma City. I go for underdogs usually.
And there's nothing else to do
There's
there.
nothing
so.
to do.
Usually like going for the minus 335 series underdog.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to see and do. Lot to see and do in
that new
Oklahoma
loves
City.
that they put up.
Yeah, what do you got in Oklahoma City?
You go look at livestock,
What do you
and
wanna-
I suppose natural gas and oil is what they got. You go tour the oil rigs and you tour the livestock areas, and you tour the the ranches and stuff.
I gave you the Oklahoma City Dodgers yesterday. That's if you want to go see some baseball. You're going to go see some minor league baseball, some AAA baseball in Nashville.
Yep.
Oklahoma City has the same.
They do have minor league baseball.
Minor
They've
league
got,
baseball. 2 years ago, the Oklahoma City Dodgers, they were in the AAA World Series.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's very
That's great.
exciting.
Someone told me they've got the Western Cowboy Museum there or something like
They
that.
might.
Western Heritage Museum.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm looking up the top tourist destinations.
There's the
in Oklahoma
memorial
City.
that's there. If you want to,
I was gonna say if you want to feel bad,
respect.
that's their number 1 deal is the memorial, or the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, as well as the
that was a sad moment.
Western
I remember that.
Heritage
Terrible
Museum,
moment.
the Philbrook Museum of Art.
I don't
Or,
think- I don't
why don't
think
you hit
that's
up the
top art.
vibrant entertainment district in Oklahoma City of the Bricktown Canal?
I just another.
That sounds like a
canal.
happening
Another
spot.
fake
There's numerous
canal.
nightlife options, restaurants, and shops.
This was all to say I want Oklahoma City to win. I want them to have something to have. Now, no offense.
Well, you just named off a bunch of things that they have.
Oh, what
sounds like
art-
fun
what-
stuff.
what
Yeah.
art- what-
That sounds
what-
awesome.
What art is rolling up to Oklahoma? I don't think the great artists in the world. I don't think the art scene and the great art scene is saying, let's make sure this one goes to Oklahoma City.
What are you saying about the Milwaukee Art Museum?
Well, ours is world renowned. We've got the Calatrava. We've got a beautiful thing. But I don't think the Van Goghs and the Rembrandts and the Picassos are good. Let's make sure those go to Oklahoma. You got Paris. You got all these places.
Some in Chicago.
Let's make sure they go to. Let's make sure.
Apparently, they're all here.
Building is incredible.
You get the whole, get all the Rembrandts and send them to Oklahoma City where the arts community is. You know what I mean? That's, I don't think what they're thinking.
Jeez, Louise.
I'm not being mean. It's just reality, and the reality is I want them.
Dougie, I think you'd like Oklahoma. Like the top 7 of these things are all state parks and wildlife spots. Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge.
That sounds beautiful.
Over 59,000 acres of ancient mountains,
and I'm not
dotting a sea of prairie.
I'm not even hating. I'm not even hating. I think
it
sounds beautiful. I'd love.
Don't
to
you want to go
there.
to Beavers Bend?
Yes, I want to go to Beavers Bend. I want to take a hike.
That's a state park.
I want some barbecue, whatever they have. My point is, I think that they're focused on the Thunder over there in Oklahoma City. In the original discussion was in Boston, there's other things going on. You know, they're thinking about where they're going sailing this weekend and where they're going to eat clam chowder.
Or in this particular series, Denver, you're thinking about Vail, you're thinking about Breckenridge, you're thinking about
maybe shop you're going to go to with the Green Cross.
Well, that one's too.
We have
you're
more
thinking
of a
about what concert there might be at Red Rock.
Red Rock, yeah, no doubt.
We have more of a kindred spirit in Milwaukee, I think, to Oklahoma City. So I'd like to see them. Buck
that's
the
why
trend.
the stray that you shot at him yesterday was just so outlandish.
It wasn't a straight wanting him to win. It was a straight what's going on.
It wasn't a stray. It was a direct hit. It was a direct shot.
Golly, it was a snipe.
It's
scoped in, calm down, wait for the trigger warning.
People took aim and
people
bam.
come to Milwaukee.
Bam.
People come to Milwaukee on vacation. No one's ever gone on vacation in Oklahoma City. No one said that. Am I wrong?
Wow.
Lord.
No one's ever.
I wouldn't say no one.
Have you been to Tulsa? Like I think probably Oklahoma City's a great double up.
I think Tulsa's probably a better spot to go than Oklahoma City. Well, Tulsa's actually, I heard, a pretty cool town. They got
Jules from Milwaukee. I had basic army training in Lawton, Oklahoma. Couldn't get out of there fast enough.
You didn't go by choice, did you?
Wow.
There's a lot of room out there. That's why they have good. It's a good.
Hey, there's good wild boar hunting. Our friend Derek got him one down there.
I'm not gonna lie.
Armin thinks Oklahoma City's a wild boar.
That would be. That was good, Dave. That was good. That was good, Dave. Well done. Well done.
Charles Barkley's working on it for his next feud with the women of Oklahoma City. Oh my God, San Antonio thought they had it bad.
They got churros.
That's another place with a canal, by the way, San Antonio.
Well, yeah, I've been to San Antonio. San Antonio,
the Riverwalk,
very cool.
But that's a real river though, or is that
that's man-made?
There you go. We have natural water here, okay? We don't have fake water everywhere else.
There's probably fewer bodies floating though at the bottom.
Hey, come on, can we not make those jokes anymore? We've been making those jokes about the Milwaukee
It's not a
River.
joke.
Yeah, I think that's more of a fact.
That's not. I'm not joking.
Sadly
Milwaukee River is a nice place. I've been on boats in the Milwaukee River. People go kayaking there.
Yeah, that's a choice,
right?
I've definitely I've been on the boat. I've been on the booze cruise. I've not done the kayak in the river.
No, I haven't done that.
I haven't done
The
that.
kayak in the river is probably one.
All right,
It's one bad move and
there it is. It came.
You capsize.
I was worried about this. We do have a listener in the 405. They're
There you
coming at
go.
me from
I
Oklahoma.
have family in Oklahoma.
I knew it.
For vacation all the time. Take that, Armin.
Sorry, Tim, but our numbers in Oklahoma are bad right now. Whatever numbers we're looking at, you know, if they're iHeart numbers in Oklahoma, they're bad right now.
Well, and don't check the Iowa and Nebraska ones after the shots that I take at those two spots.
Hey.
So who needs those horrible states?
Good, but this is where
Dad's from Nebraska.
I'll say this: a lot of good college football in these areas, right? A lot of good college
And he's not
football.
even from the fun part of Nebraska.
It's for the part that they actually wish they weren't in Nebraska. Oh man!
Oh, he
Here you
lives in
go, Matt
Waukesha.
Milwaukee. Armin's just learning from Billy how to hate the flyover states. It really is true. It is true. Hey, okay, he lives in Waukesha. He's all good. He's a refuge.
There you go.
He got
All right.
himself out. Dougie, always appreciate it. That
Thanks,
was
Dougie.
a
Always
remarkable laugh.
Thanks, boys.
And we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Of course.
That is Doug
See ya.
Russell from the Update Studio. He's always a part of No BS, and we always appreciate his contributions, and we always appreciate when he walks us into a winning parlay of the day.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
You know, I feel like I just got to throw Oklahoma City in this parlay of the
They're
day
in
after
now.
everything that they've caught.
You gotta be in. Oklahoma City attendance
Golly.
over. Take the over on it. They're gonna sell it out.
Take the over on attendance.
It's a home
Take
game.
the over on people wearing the shirt in Oklahoma City.
They wear the shirt.
Outside of that one
show
son
up.
of a that sits right there on the floor.
I remember when they first got a team. when Seattle came and everyone's like,
I'm sorry. They're the most recent new NBA team. You just sounded 1,000 years old. I remember when they first got that basketball team there.
When Seattle first came and they had Durant and everything, and there was an exciting young nucleus. I remember everyone was like, wow, what a breath of fresh air this crowds in Oklahoma City are. They're like a college crowd. They're up, they're active, they're selling out every game. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's nothing else to do there. And here's the thing. The home games there are probably more electric because that's the big thing there, So you go to Oklahoma City, it's going to be a big home crowd tonight. It's going to be they're a big favorite. 10 points, I want to say.
10.5 right now. Or no, 10, pardon me. 10.5 is the Celtics.
Came back, so I get it. I expect it to be popping because they should have won game 1. And just like the Cavs yesterday, they've got to be hungry to win game 2. That's a must win for them, in my opinion.
If you're going on underdogs and you're just going on the trends, our friend Charlie put this in.
Oh, yes.
Winners straight up last 6 times it's been the underdogs. And they've all been pretty big money line underdogs that have now won consecutively 6 straight playoff games.
Or just play it safe and take the points. 10 points, a lot of points against Jokic, Jamal Murray, and company. This is interesting.
I think they've suffered enough. I think Oklahoma City has suffered enough here on this last 15 minutes of berating that they've caught that I'm not going to jinx them and put them in the parlay.
Will they cover the 10 though? Oh, you're not going to. Okay.
I'm just going to steer clear because they've caught a lot of strays. They've caught a lot of heat. They've caught a lot of issues here, and we don't want to contribute to any more of that. We're going to go back to what we won on Monday.
Brewers
are a part of this. Yeah. But we're going in the sphere of all Major League Baseball and some afternoon ball across the country, and more importantly, some of it across the NL Central. Check this note out from my friend John Ewing, who covers sports gambling for BetMGM. Now, you're not the biggest fan of BetMGM.
I mean, they're the quote-unquote king.
The self-appointed king of sportsbooks.
My college TV was bigger than the ones in the MGM. Okay?
Wow.
Okay? No, I mean, maybe they've updated.
I think you're pretty accurate on that, though.
I'll let you know next week. But it's just funny to think of, comparing their sports book to Potawatomi's, which is like comparing dirt to gold.
Yes, because you're right. Everyone's living room has TVs bigger than the MGM Sportsbook in Las Vegas.
That's the thing. And you might be out there thinking, boy, what am I missing in Vegas? You're not missing anything. Go to Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's as good as you're going to get anywhere.
And it is going to be one of those, you're going to walk into Potawatomi Sportsbook and be like, okay, this is what I'm talking.
This is what it's supposed to look like.
You then get to MGM in Las Vegas, and you're like, wait a second. This is a sports book?
There's only one worse, and it's another BetMGM one.
Sir, this looks like a Wendy's. What are we doing here?
There's only one. And this is a little inside baseball. There's New York, right?
Oh, it's really, even worse. Yes, you're right.
And they got the small TVs up high, like little computer monitors. I'm like, I need binoculars.
Which, again, is the other part about, and again, not just a straight gas up Potawatomi.
Sure, but it's reality.
But it's reality. When you're sitting in that first seat, the front row of those rocking, beautiful plush recliners, you got the TV straight ahead of you.
That's nice.
You can look up at the massive over 2,000 square foot video wall. You absolutely can.
Right.
But you also have TVs that are eye level, so you don't have to strain your neck the whole time.
That's one of the best things they did.
It is. Dave, it does.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I've read it on someone's business card. So being able to have all of that.
All right, you were talking about the numbers.
Real size. Yes. The numbers from our friend John Ewing. Most bet tickets for MLB props today. You care to guess what the number one most bet prop is in Major League Baseball here today?
I have no idea where I would start. I would imagine it's a local hook, the reason you're bringing it up. I don't know where I'd start on this one. I mean,
under 2.5 earned runs for Milwaukee Brewers starting pitcher Quinn Priester.
Really?
Is that because of the Astros trends? Is that what that is?
I mean, or it's just the thought of regression to the mean when my man came in after an opener last and just completely the bed against the Chicago Cubs over the weekend.
Do that many people have confidence in Quinn Priester?
Just saying he can't be that bad again.
I'll tell you what, I guarantee Dave's not betting that.
Yeah, Dave Gasper not going to be in on that.
Probably
bet. Not going to be in on that one. Last time Quinn Priester was out, again, he came in relief of Tyler Alexander. Opener situation. Alexander didn't get through the first inning, which is kind of the part of having an opener. And then Quinn Priester came in 4 1/3, and in the first 2 of those innings, allowed a couple of inherited runners to score, and then 7 of his own. So under 2.5 runs is the most played prop on the day.
Okay.
I tend to really like going against the public.
Right.
I don't want to just go in terms of cheering for the Houston Astros. So why don't we just go over 7.5 runs? Brewers and Astros here today.
No, I like that.
Brewers put up 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, granted, didn't score in innings 2 through 8, which would have been nice to be able to tack on a little bit, but it's neither here nor there. Time to start adding on and tacking on runs is today. Over 7.5, Brewers and Astros. First pitch coming up in less than an hour from right now.
Yeah, Framber Valdez hasn't been all that either. So.
No, Valdez has not been very good so far this year. And one of their more successful starting pitchers. So that's a tough one for them to have at this moment. Second leg is in the NL Central. And it comes with the Chicago Cubs losing to Robbie Ray and the San Francisco Giants. Give me the Giants money line, which is a little plus money, plus 138 at the moment here, Armin.
Nice plus money there.
Because these two teams have split the last 2 games. Okay. However, yesterday, 9 runs in the 11th inning for the San Francisco Giants. This game was 5-5 into extras, and then the Giants just pantsed the Chicago Cubs in the 11th.
That's crazy, huh? That's wild.
Roll all of that good energy into an early first pitch, 120 first pitch at Wrigley. Give us Robbie Ray and the Giants today against your boy Ben Brown and the Chicago Cubs. And the final piece of this puzzle and this parlay of the day in Major League Baseball is in one of the smallest ballparks in Major League Baseball this year. My man Brian Wu. Let me fill you in on number 22 for your Seattle Mariners. 4-1 so far this year with a 2.58 ERA. Third best whip.
Nice.
Qualified starting pitchers in baseball with a .83 at the moment.
Very good. He's little Wu because there's only one big Wu.
There's only one big Wu.
So he's little Wu.
But this Brian Wu,
he's playing well.
He's gone 6 1/3, 6 innings, 7.76. Last time out, 1 hit, 6 1/3, no walks, 8 Ks, and shut down the Texas Rangers. He does the same to the Athletics here today in Sacramento. Give me Brian Wu and the 21-14 Seattle Mariners to combine in on this parlay of the day at plus 660 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook right now.
Very nice.
Over 7.5 Astros, Brewers, Giants money line, Mariners money line. Parlay of the day at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest.
Let's go, Bill. Let's get another one this week. Wouldn't that be nice?
It'd be very nice to go 2 of 3. It would be extremely nice to do that. However, with hitting a good plus 650 right out of the gates, we're playing with the house's money for the week. So that means we hit one more, we are into a big time winning day, and we are going to be feeling ourselves throughout the week. So it happens today. Again, zigzag deal. Fantastic use of the pause button.
Well done. Well done, Armin.
I'm almost surprised that it was well done. Me too. Well done, Armin. Well done on the pause button. Zigzag theory is in effect. 3 for 3 Monday, 0 for 3 Tuesday. Back to 3 for 3 today. Go bet the parlay of the day at the Potawatomi Sportsbook here today from No BS. There's another wide receiver that's open on the market for the Green Bay Packers. This one just happened while we were on the air, as well as I want to get into more of that Steph Curry situation that we were talking about with Doug Russell. Golden State in trouble? Oklahoma City in trouble? Do you think Boston is in trouble here tonight? A little more NBA playoffs before we hand it off to the Mike Keller Show coming up after the top of the hour. It's No BS on the Game.
Get your tickets now for Brewapalooza, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, June 13th at AmFam Field. Here's the deal. Get a game ticket for the Brewers and Cardinals and our Left's Lucky Town pregame tailgate for just $45. We're almost sold out, so get your tickets now at 973thegame.com/Brewers.
Swing into summer at Sticks. Whether you're chasing birdies or just want to beat the heat, we've got your summer golf fix. For just $350, enjoy unlimited golf May through August, or go month to month for only $100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always perfect at Sticks. Visit sticksgolfbar.com or call 262-415-7513 for more details. We're right off Mequon Road on Squire Drive in Germantown. Swing in, cool off, and tee it up all summer long at Sticks.
Another morning, another battle with the snooze button. You drag through your day, chugging coffee and energy drinks just to function, and by 4 o'clock, you're crashing hard. Workouts? Skipped. Family time? You're just too tired. Drew Wilson here to tell you that the hours between 6 and 10 o'clock at night should be yours to work out, play with the kids, and live your life, not just survive it. If low energy, bad sleep, and afternoon slumps are slowing you down, it's time to check your testosterone. As men get older, testosterone levels naturally decline. You might not notice it at first or even feel a difference at all, but it can impact your performance in the conference room at work, the weight room at the gym, and even the bedroom. When people ask, how are you doing? And you reply, fine, I guess. You need to set up an appointment with Game Day Men's Health and change that answer to awesome. At Game Day Men's Health, they make it simple. Fast T-level testing, effective in-office treatments. With multiple area locations, there's probably one near you. No waiting, no hassle, just real results. Don't waste another night on the couch. Take back your life with Game Day Men's Health. Book your free T-level test today at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get back in the game.
Hey y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts, like candles, clothing, and home decor. We also have beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in store or order flowers for delivery at sendixhome.com. And to make it easy, we're offering chocolate-covered strawberries and a build-your-own cupcake station, Saturday and Sunday. Learn more at sendix.com. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Hey, it's Brian Butch for Window Nation, and right now it's the semi-annual sale, and you can save 60% off a house full of windows. For 2 years, you won't have to worry about a down payment, interest, or monthly payment. That's right. Pay nothing until 2027. Get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. That's the difference with Window Nation. Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Give them a call at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com for the semi-annual window sale.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy. Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hello, I'm John Lithgow.
We choose to go to the moon.
I want to tell you about my new fiction podcast.
It's one small step for man.
About Buzz Aldrin, one of the true pioneers of space.
You're a great pilot, Buzz.
That's the story you think you know. This is the story you don't. Buzz, starring me, John Lithgow.
Listen to Buzz on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Buzz to start listening.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma, just a whistle of a long black train. You'll know when it's coming for you.
You might have a chance to
to win $1,000 right now. Here's your shot at some bonus bucks on the game. Win $1,000 by entering this hour's nationwide keyword at 973thegame.com. It's happy. Enter the word happy, 973thegame.com. That's happy at 973thegame.com. We'd be very happy if you won $1,000 here on the game, courtesy of the game, by entering the word happy at 973thegame.com. Go and win, and then let us know that you won, and hang out with us on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. Going to go there momentarily. But wanted to give you a couple of pieces of news on your Milwaukee Brewers that is coming out here from the pre-game festivities, pre-game chat with Pat Murphy and different beat writers being very, very clued in and watching, like our guy Kurt Hogue, who said Freddie Peralta out throwing on flat ground now, back on his normal schedule. Sounds like he's making his plans to make his start this weekend in Tampa. His spot would normally line up to be Saturday, but they may give him an extra day to build in a little bit of rest there, as well as Adam McCalvy having a good one on William Contreras, which is pretty interesting. The x-ray after from last night read that William Contreras does have a fracture in his middle finger on his catching hand, Armin, but it's an old fracture that has bothered him for some time. He'll continue to play through it. Brewers are working with Contreras to make a splint for that finger to absorb some of the impact that it catches on a daily basis, obviously, and he will continue to catch and be back there. Catchers are just built different. That's wild.
He's
have
an
a broken
absolute
finger, and my
grinder.
man's like, yeah, it's been there for a while.
He's an absolute grinder, first of all. Love having him on our team. Love a guy with that attitude. And I like that maybe there's an explanation of why his hitting hasn't been where it's been recently the last couple of years. Maybe
you got some ammunition to cape up. I like that.
I
yeah.
like that. So there's some hope there that maybe that's the reason. And once it heals, my question is, if it's been there for some time, when's it going to heal? But I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how the hell that works.
Not an orthopedist. I
Yeah.
have no answer on that. However, I would surmise, and you know, we probably have some orthopedic surgeons here on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. I'm going to guess that catching is probably not going to help it.
No, especially the 100-mile-an-hour fastballs
Yeah.
he's getting from Abner Uribe
Right.
and Trevor McGill and half the Brewers bullpen.
I'm going to guess that's probably not going to help. However, it's May. So he's
May.
not going to take 4 weeks off. We already know this. This is a guy last year that multiple times told Murph, you're putting me in the lineup.
I'm not taking days off.
Put me back in the lineup. Now, they talked about it preseason during spring training, and there were a lot made of having a conversation with William and being like, listen, we know you want to play every day.
We're gonna scale you
We
back.
can't have you playing
Yeah.
every day. We are going to scale you back. We're going to protect you from yourself a little bit in some of this. And he sounded open to that. This would be one where you want his bat in the lineup as much as possible. You want him on the field as much as possible. If you can take any bit off of that injury, sure. But like that, if it's been there for some time, I think there's part of it that it's like, don't know if it's going to heal at this
No.
point. So why worry about it, and why let it be a factor?
And he's still helping the team. It's not like he's hurting the team with this. In fact, au contraire, he's helping the team. His defense has been great. He threw down another one last night.
Yep.
He's just playing great back there. His numbers offensively haven't been great in terms of his standard,
Yeah.
but it's still up around 700 OPS. His WAR is still really good to start the year. He's helping the team win, and he's obviously a plus having him out there. So as hopefully his finger gets healthier, you would expect his hitting to come around as well. Long season, as you said. So we're lucky to have a guy like that on this team.
That's good
What,
news.
what a grinder. And it's good news. Yeah.
And also good news for those in attendance here today at American Family Field. Weather day.
Oh, that's an electric day.
Armin,
That's an
did you ever
electric
hit
day.
weather day when you were a kid at the Brewers game at American Family
well,
Field? That would have been County Stadium days. I
Yeah.
know that they were doing weather day and firing up the liquid nitrogen clouds when you were in school.
I'm
Not
trying to
date
rem-
you that way.
I'm trying. No, it's okay. I'm trying to remember if they still had those days. Like, I don't think they were doing that as much as they do now in terms of like having a whole day and do
Sure.
experiments and stuff like that. I know that's always a big day. It's exciting. It's a day game usually during school still, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we weren't going on field trips to Brewers games that I remember much. So that wasn't
Man,
like
that's tough.
Yeah. I remember
What-
going one time.
Yes,
Weather day,
there was at
yeah.
least one time I think I hit weather day. Now
I don't know when they started
Mom
doing
did
that.
also try to find ways for me to be able to,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
scoot out of school at that point. There'd always be a magazine drive. We talked about the Scholastic Book Fair. We used to have a magazine drive that like one of the results one of the payoffs.
Was
If you
getting
sold a certain amount, you got to go to the Brewers game during the afternoon of school the one time. Weather Day, Drew Burgoyne over at CBS 58.
It's
Boy,
electric.
hits it out of the park.
Nah, it's a big day.
He
for
does
him.
the same thing at the school day games for Milwaukee Admirals hockey.
Yeah, the Admirals ones are big. Yeah.
And let me tell you, I've been in some arenas, not a ton, not as many as some in these chairs, right? You hear some pops when Drew Burgoyne dumps that liquid nitrogen and that
Whatever it is.
explosion
Yeah,
pops
it
up.
just goes crazy. Yeah,
Dude,
the crowd gets
the
crazy.
pop from those kids is awesome.
It's fun.
Now
to
I don't know how it's going to sound because they're doing it like right on the dugout, like right behind the Brewers dugout, and everybody's in the lower level here. Oh yeah, videos are up. My man Adam McCalvy's got the video right here. Kids are losing their minds.
Pretty cool if you're seeing that. Like, you know, let's say
Well,
you're
it's
one
a
of the players.
big facility, right? The tight, intimate setting at UWM Panther Arena. Whew. Blow the roof off that place when he fires that thing in.
Yeah, man.
It's got to be an awesome feeling.
Gotta be.
Knowing that you are going to get that kind of electric pop. And some kids probably have seen it. And they're telling, it's like when you go to a game with your friends and you find out Red Panda is going to be the halftime show.
Big deal.
And there's a couple of buddies there with you that have never seen it. You're like, go get a beer with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Or when you're going to
the bathroom now.
Right.
Right back here because you're not going to want to miss this.
Or when you go to the Brewers game and it's your daughter's first game and you realize Bob Kozlowski's making his triumphant return to sing God Bless America.
The Brewers are undefeated since Bob Kozlowski returned.
That's a great point.
That's a good point.
Great point.
You know, some are saying that might turn the team around.
Those are those unexpected moments you just don't expect that are completely high.
That was a legit pop that Bob got on Sunday too.
I'm like, Lenny, you'll never know what it means for you to be here right now. She'll never know what it means, but I'm going to tell her that story.
Also, shout out last night while we're in the Brewer shout out department.
Yeah.
Sophia Minert with the young girl. I want to say her name was Ella.
Right. I can't remember, but that was cool. That was awesome.
That was well done by Sophia.
Yeah.
Because she did also have to orchestrate and facilitate the interview. Well, this poor girl is just losing her bacon.
Losing it.
I mean, she's got a bat signed by Sal Frelick. At one point, they pointed out to her that the knob had his name and his number there. Kiss that. Like, over the moon excitement.
Reminds me of the Carlos Gomez girl. Remember her?
Absolutely. When she got the baseball.
When she started crying and Carlos came and gave her a hug. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Ella Vanchuk. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'm glad you tried it and I didn't have to. The shirt might be my favorite part. Now, she had the sign, Sal Frelick, will you marry me? And Sal Frelick's like, all due respect. Sal Frelick, one of the most eligible bachelors in the city.
Well,
of Milwaukee?
no, he had somebody at I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife or maybe fiance. He had somebody at Christian's event.
Oh,
there was there were a couple.
There's gonna be some heartbroken young ladies in the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's eligible.
Good looking cat.
Well, I know that. My wife tells me.
Good looking young man.
Yeah,
but Ella did have the shirt that said, "This girl loves Sal Frelick."
I got to get one of those shirts. That'd be pretty cool to get one of those.
I am already express ordering you one of those shirts.
That's
and
great
no,
shirt.
I did not change it to "This guy loves Sal Frelick."
No,
just let you know that shirt has been purchased for Armin Sarian, and a bet has been made and placed by Armin Sarian.
I did make
now,
that
you
bet.
put your money where your mouth is. You
I
called
still
it
haven't
out.
seen it come through.
Now, you haven't seen it yet, Dave?
I haven't seen it come through.
I got.
Who did I send it to then?
I got a Venmo from our friend Armin Sarian during Doug Russell's update. Nick Mears All-Star. So you're in for a 10-1 investment on Nick Mears making the All-Star game. And again, this would be not completely uncharted territory. There are non-closers that make the All-Star game as relievers.
Right, there are some.
There's like, Dave, maybe one a year, right? Like it's maybe one a year on maybe each team.
Well, that's a long shot.
Yeah, and like your relievers are on the All-Star team are going to be closers.
They're going to be closers because they get stats.
Yeah,
And
they are the stars of the bullpen.
And a lot of times, and I think this is sometimes lost, and one of the reasons why I hate the stupid rule.
Yeah,
a lot of times they're on bad teams.
Because
they're the only guy that's got positive stats on bad
They
teams.
got to find one guy. Ricky Bones, now he was a starter, but 94 Brewers, Ricky Bones was an all-star.
Jalen Beeks has been an all-star for the Rockies.
Yes.
Like,
What's a Jaden Cheeks, you said?
Jalen Beeks.
Beeks, not Cheeks. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So
the Rockies are cheap.
In that sense, it might be a long shot for me that to make him an
But you
all-star.
put that stash in the closer's role, and I don't know. I mean, he might rattle off 10 straight saves.
Well, now that's true. It's like what type of leverage situations will he, but Now wait,
He's getting placed into the biggest moment of the game.
Devin was an all-star and wasn't a closer. Am I right? 1 year, 22. Was he a closer though in 22?
I feel like he closed some games.
Yeah, he had 15 saves. That's the year they traded.
No, he would have gotten those saves after the Hader deal because they traded Hader at the deadline of 20.
I'm not saying we should trade our whole bullpen so Mears can get in that role.
I'd prefer they don't do that. Yeah.
Got to keep McGill around a little bit longer.
I just think if he doesn't make the All-Star team, I wouldn't be surprised because obviously it's a long shot. But I think Nick Mears' numbers are as good as any reliever right now in baseball, and I think he deserves to be in consideration. I'm
just glad somebody is going to start the candidacy. And officially, you here today on May 7th have put your money where your mouth is, and you're starting the candidacy. You're not alone, though. Our friend Chris put in there, he's going to make it rain with that kind of cash. Just absolutely so. You're going to be dangerous.
We're talking about a 0.68 ERA and a 0.525 WHIP. All right, come on now. 13 innings. I mean,
then our friend Aaron said, "Hey man, can I get in on this? I'll double up Armin Sarian."
Does that mean he'll pay me if I pay him double? Is that what he's saying? I don't understand what he's trying to say.
No, I think he's saying he wants in with you. He likes your side.
If you're taking book, that's up to you guys. I don't know. Yeah, that's up to you guys.
I mean,
I feel like I thought of it, so you can't just jump on the bandwagon now. What was this? I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Missed that.
That's not how you be a campaign manager.
No, I'm not.
You welcome people
good.
onto the book.
Yeah.
Do we need Nick Brusewitz to come on in here and teach you these lessons?
Yeah, maybe he should. Maybe he should.
He's got family ties. We could help that out. But no, that's not how you do this. You have to be laser focused on bringing people onto the Nick Mears playoff all-star bandwagon.
Right. No, I believe I'm gonna. Maybe that's the shirt I should get and sell.
This you can't let this be like your garage indie band
where it's only me.
Then they start getting big, and you're like, you guys didn't listen to their old
You're
stuff.
right. I have to accept people in. That's a great point, Billy. So I'm gonna be doing that. Yeah, everybody get in on the campaign, and I will sell T-shirts.
What if
there's some money in shirts too?
Not
do
according
you
to
deliver to Oklahoma City?
If they pay the shipping, how about that? Because some of those places in Oklahoma, you can't. You need all kinds of trucks to get to those places. They're way out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeff in the 262 out in West Bend said, I stayed at the Hard Rock Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma a year ago.
Tulsa.
Super fun place.
Right.
Live music Thursday through Saturday, 3 or 4 stages, good games, won a jackpot. I would definitely recommend if in the area. Also, Tulsa has a lot of art stuff to check out if you're into that.
Now, I remember
so
saying,
apparently there is big art
maybe
in Oklahoma.
Maybe in Oklahoma. I said Oklahoma City. Now, not Tulsa. That's a different.
You did say Tulsa was going to be better than Oklahoma City.
Thank
and I was
you.
like, wow, I feel like that's
because Tulsa has
statement.
a real big statue of a guy that's like mining or something like that. That everyone.
Oh,
yeah, they have a real big statue.
They got a big statue.
They got a statue and a stoplight. It's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Something to see. It's the Golden Driller statue.
Yeah.
So there's something.
They also got a minor league baseball team there, the Tulsa Drillers.
It's also there you go, the Drillers. So there you go. So we're finding stuff to do in Oklahoma.
That is a large statue.
Boy, that's a big old boy.
That is a big old boy.
That's a big old boy, no doubt about it. So we're finding stuff to do.
I think I'm going to pass on seeing the 76-foot tall Golden Driller statue, though.
You'd go to the Hard Rock, though.
Nah, not the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I mean, like that's again the thing.
No. If you had to be
these
in Tulsa,
casinos are going to not be as good as the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I 100% agree with you.
You're right,
there.
though. If I'm in an area,
you might walk in.
Potentially going to check it out.
Yeah, you might walk in. But
like if I'm
obviously,
in Joliet, Illinois, I guess I'm going to have to check out.
But there's no place like home. And
there's
Potawatomi
really not.
is the best one. So.
No, there's really not.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I'm learning all these things about Oklahoma right now.
A lot of texts coming in. TK, we can't watch the video. We're on the air right now. We'll watch during the break. How about that? We'll watch
this is of Drew Burgoyne doing the doing.
Is this it? Okay.
Yes, this is Drew Burgoyne doing the demonstration.
Man. That's an electric.
It's awesome, dude. I'm telling you,
yeah.
he fires up the crowd unlike many others. So I'm excited for those that are in attendance at Weather Day here today. And potentially there's some listeners that are there on the field trip, right? Because chaperone, that's one that you might take the day off of work to go do. That's a part of this. Like when you are going to start game planning for, all right, we got to volunteer one time, right? We don't want to be those parents that don't ever join. We don't want to be there all the time because we can't be there all the time. This is one I'm taking off work for.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Definitely.
877-794-1973. Armin, you want Gabe Davis?
Maybe. I might take a flyer on him. It's not Sammy Watkins. but it's not, I mean.
Are you sure it's not? He had 200 receiving yards last year after signing a 3-year, $39 million contract.
That was disappointing.
Cut this morning by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who's throwing to him?
That's a very, very fair question.
Yeah.
Mitch Morse, who was on the team this year, center, then had formerly been with the Buffalo Bills, put out absolute tone setter in that locker room and on the field. Perfect culture guy, played hard and hurt all last year.
Okay.
Didn't complain about it once. Having a tough time wrapping my head around this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think he's a guy we always saw flash in Buffalo that had some talent, could make big plays, was a good compliment receiver. Maybe wasn't ready. The injury thing is an interesting point. A lot of guys play hurt we don't realize. Maybe he could be a role player for somebody. I thought he'd be better in Jacksonville. I didn't know he'd be a star.
I did too, yeah, no
doubt.
doubt.
I thought he'd be better. So
well, and they go and grab Travis Hunter. They're like, we don't need you in here. We definitely don't need you making that kind of cash. And it is interesting now that we're post-draft. This is when you start seeing some moves on the personnel side that are involving veteran players.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get a resolution to that Jair Alexander thing we were talking about with Aaron Nagler coming up here sooner rather than later, or maybe this is June 12th, as Nag said, the day for mandatory minicamp. Maybe that's the theoretical deadline that we're still trying to place on this bad boy. Our deadline to hand it off to the Mike Heller Show is coming up. We're going to be back before that. Our closing ceremonies are coming up next. Mike Heller's here in 15 minutes. It's No BS with Billy and Sarian on the game.
Less than truckload freight deserves full professional attention. Turn to Packer Freight for big-time logistics expertise on even the smallest of freights. Whether shipping a single pallet or multiple skids, Packer Freight uses advanced systems to analyze your costs and transit times across the country so your LTL moves smarter, faster, and more effectively. Bottom line, never pay too much for LTL freight that spends too long in transit. PackerFreight.com. Born of grit, built for freight.
Get ready for a night of soul-stirring rock and roll. Miles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts are coming to town. Catch their one-of-a-kind blend of roots, pop, and rock live at the New Berlin West PAC on Friday, May 10th. With rich harmonies, killer melodies, and a show that leaves it all on the stage. This is the band you didn't know you needed. Tickets still available at ndwestpac.com. Don't miss Miles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts, May 10th at 7 p.m.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. With over 50,000 satisfied patients, people with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Watch golf legends, including tournament host Steve Stricker, compete in a star-studded team format at the American Family Insurance Championship. This year's tournament is June 6th through the 8th at TPC, Wisconsin. Tournament week includes an exciting concert featuring Megan Maroney and special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breeze Stevens Field. Proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets at amfamchampionship.com.
Brian Butch here. Iron Jack Performance Apparel is hands down my favorite. The absolute best feel with the best odor and fabric protection in the industry. With a lifetime guarantee. No questions asked. And now through May 11th, when you buy $50 or more, use promo code SPRING35 to take 35% off your entire order. Plus, Iron Jack will include free socks as a bonus. Go to ironjack.com. That's ironjoc.com now through May 11th. On behalf of myself and Paul Hansen, happy Mother's Day, Iron Jack Nation.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Sunshine to start our Wednesday, but more clouds on the way for this afternoon. Strong northeast wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up around 35 at times. 62 inland, 56 lakeside, clear and low 40s tonight. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
You guys, this thing is #1.
Milwaukee's most listened to sports station and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. 97.3 The Game.
I was born to just walk the line. Living on Tulsa time. Living on Tulsa time. Well, you know I've been through it when I sit my watch back.
All right, no clue how Dave Gasper found this song. Waiting on Tulsa time? Is this just an iHeart?
This is a
directory
Don Williams country classic.
Don Williams?
Don Williams.
You got to be familiar with Don Williams' game. This is pretty impressive stuff right here. How much do you hate this, Armin? Kind of like how you hate as our texter hit us up with Matt in Milwaukee. Hating like Elkhorn and East Troy because they're smaller cities in Milwaukee.
They don't have NBA teams, do they? I'm not comparing them to Boston or I love them.
You just really like Boston. I think that's the problem. I think that's here because
town,
that's what you
championships.
That's what
cool
he's continually put over is like there's just so much more fun stuff to do in Boston. It's like it's the most fun town in the world.
I visited there a lot because I have family there. It's a cool place, but all I'm trying to say is like basketball is probably the Thunder are probably a bigger deal there. And I'm saying it sounds funny saying that. And the Celtics are in Boston. The Celtics are a big deal in Boston. I'm not sitting here cheering for the Celtics. They win enough. I don't need the Boston to win again. In fact, I'm probably cheering against them most of the time. Now, if I get the Sophie's Choice in the conference finals, Boston and Indiana, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. All right. Because I don't know who to cheer for there. So, no, it's not.
At that point, the tiebreaker of having a Tyrese Halliburton kid from Wisconsin on a team would not factor into the equation at all.
No, it might be part of it. It might be part of it. I don't know how I can feel about that, but at Elkhorn, I don't know. I love Elkhorn. Elkhorn's a great place. It's not about Elkhorn. Not about Walworth County, all right? Please, don't put that on me.
Yeah, just don't ask about Jefferson County.
Don't put that on me,
You really want to get
Who was
this.
that?
You
Yeah.
really want to get this guy fired up. Start asking him about some spots around here, and then Armin will really get angry.
All I was doing is making a factual point that is objectively true. All right, so you guys can get on me if you want about that, but
we won't. What we do want to ask you is this news that just came down from Shams Charania of ESPN. That's still getting used to. Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry has sustained a grade 1 left hamstring strain, will be ruled out for game 2 against Minnesota on Thursday. It's the first strained muscle of Curry's career. So exact return timetable is unclear due to his first rehab like this.
They've been pretty fortunate to not have too many injuries. Yeah, but he's had other injuries, but he's been fortunate not to have. Now, look.
I mean, yeah, his ankles were a massive problem for his first 2 or 3 years of his career. But
his game isn't also based on power like other guys that, hamstring, soft tissue. Think about that, right? Like in NFL and stuff like that. So we can lament player injuries and luck, but, it hasn't been based on that. You can be great, but you also have to be someone fortunate to stay healthy. He has generally. LeBron, Jordan, a lot of those guys have.
If Steph misses more than just game 2, Warriors have a chance?
Oof, they do, but
they're up 1-0.
They do, obviously, right? They still have the lead in the series. They would have been split if they lose even. With Jimmy, I can't say they're counted out. They have a good team. It's hard to say that they're going to have a good chance, but they have a chance, yeah. It's just a longer shot, obviously. Without having the head of the snake. I mean,
but wow, it could be fun. All right, Armin, this is a fun show here today. Fantastic work here today. Dave Gasper, great job. Thanks to Aaron Nagler for joining us as well. If you missed any bit of that conversation or the rest of the show, go check out the podcast. You can download the iHeartRadio app and hit preset to No BS. Get the podcast every single day, as always. And we'll be back coming up tomorrow. We'll be back right after this. Hand it off to Mike Heller. This has been No BS right here on The Game.
Oh, I've been through it. Living on toast.
Journalism from 97.3 The Game here. We're happy to introduce Pep's Draft House Pizza as the official